podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know I can't be fucked with. You know.
Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar over. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on an app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another one. With all the excitement in the world, back like it's Friday when it's really only Thursday. Officially past hump day. It's previews and predictions day for this weekend's action, which is only Jake Paul. I don't really know anybody else fighting other than us, who's going to be covering the Myrtle Beach Mayhem show with Big Zoe Alonzo Butler and Aida Biggs, Stormborn, and obviously the TBV crew calling all the action. But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, Doomy, how are you? Oh, I'm good, Ness. I'm happy to be here. I'm sure you are. Mario, what about you? Hey, man, I'm good. I'm working out, doing my thing. Oh, good to hear that, man. We're all here. The whole crew is here this morning. Not Solo Dolo, Scarface, no Manolo. Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero. The self-proclaimed, this era's Roberto Duran. What's going on? This is something that we've talked about in the past, something that I've been extremely interested in. Well, it looks like the WBA, the wretched sanctioning body, is trying to gain some sort of favor with you boxing fans, and they're allegedly getting rid of some of their world titles. Now, first on the scene with this breaking news was Jake Donovan from BoxingScene.com. We're going to have Jake Donovan on the show at 9:30 a.m. His article is titled, "The WBA Eliminates Interim Titles Effective Immediately." And obviously, this news really ran through the community. Everyone sending everyone links and talking about it. I had an off-air conversation with my good friend Samson Lewikovich. And, Samson had this particularly to say, and he went on the record with it. While our conversation was off the record, he said, "You can quote me on this." And, Mr. Samson believes that all the press is happy, but none of the boxing promoters are happy with the WBA eliminating belts. Neither are the fighters. So that's something that we must take into consideration. Are the fighters upset that they can no longer win an interim title, that they can no longer be an interim champion, that they can no longer increase their pay? Because truth be told, you win a title, your pay goes up. So Samson says all of the press, which is the media, the bloggers, the YouTubers, everyone with a platform, but none of the promoters are happy, which are Bob Arum, Heyman Boxing LLC, Matchroom, all those guys. They cannot be happy because obviously these promoters and managers get a percentage of the purse, and that purse is greater when you have a world title on the line. So, again, none of these promoters are happy with the WBA eliminating belts. Now, the WBA has not said they're eliminating the WBA gold. It is just the interim that they're eliminating. And I'm not going to try to give you too much detail, as we will have Mr. Jake Donovan, who is the main person to break the news. So according to his article, the number of recognized titleists in the sport is set to dramatically decrease. There's a number of champions that have been dropped out of the WBA interim title list position. If we go to the BoxingVoice.com's Instagram, we have a list put together for you so that you don't have to look. Heavyweight Daniel Dubois has been dropped as an interim titleist. And you know what? Rightfully so. How do you get your eye broken in your first true step up, right? Like everything else was developmental. This was the first time you get in there with someone that could be considered on your level or he above your level. And you failed. And that's part of boxing. No knock on him failing. But how does your next fight, because you beat a guy that's coming off a loss, you become an interim titleist? So these are the mistakes that the WBA makes. So Daniel Dubois has been stripped. Cruiserweight, Robin Krasnicki, I never heard of my man. So thank God they stripped him. If you have a belt and we don't know you, you didn't earn that belt the right way. There's no way a champion becomes a champion and hardcore boxing fans don't know who he is. At middleweight, Chris Eubank stripped, thankfully. Another dude that doesn't deserve it. He's never been a real champion. He's never won a legit world title. You know, IBO, I love them, but it's not recognized. It's considered the fifth, the other belt, the other green belt, so many different phrases. So Chris Eubank never won one of the major 4 sanctioning bodies. So he's been dropped from the interim titleist standings because those belts that he wins has him believing that he's a real champ and has him acting sometimes obnoxious. Let's be real. Moving forward, Alberto Puyo. He also has been dropped. This is a Dominican. And again, he's been dropped. He's been dropped. He was supposed to fight Romero once upon a time, I think. And that never happened. Rolando Romero also has been dropped. Chris Colbert also has been dropped. Now, we're waiting for Jake Donovan of BoxingScene so that he can give you the exact details, but the way I understand it, the interim titleists have been dropped from the interim position, but they have all been made mandatory challengers to the WBA regular champion. So they still have a super and a regular. All the interims have just become the mandatory to the regular. So, I'm going to take you to the Boxing Voice rankings just to show you how we got to the title of our show. In the 135-pound division, you have the super champion, Teofimo Lopez. And then you have your regular champion, Gervonta Davis. And your former interim titleist, Rolando Romero, in the number 1 position. Which brings us to the title of the show. Due to the latest news of the WBA and them getting rid of interim titleist Rolando Romero, obviously he did win that title once upon a time, so the WBA doesn't just want to completely revoke his status, and instead they take away the belt and they make him a mandatory to the regular, who is Gervonta Tank Davis. So that brings us here. There's also an interview with Rolando Romero on Fight Hype where he makes it clear that his interest lies in Gervonta Tank Davis, who is the bigger star when thinking of who he calls his biological son, Devin Haney. He prefers instead to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, and he made some good points. He said, who would you rather fight? Who's the bigger name? Who represents the bigger check? And then he went on to suggest that Haney asked for $5 to $8 million to face him. I don't know if I believe that. I tried to contact Bill. He didn't answer. Then he called me after my bedtime. You know, I am the sleeping giant. I work hard, but I sleep early. So I was out like a light. By the time he called, I never called him back yesterday, as it just slipped my mind. But it's a good question for Bill. Is he asking for $5 million to face Romero? I mean, he's definitely got to respond to that, because Romero's out here dirty in the name saying that he wants $5 to $8 million. Like, that's pretty much outpricing yourself. That's pretty much showing you don't really want that fight if you're asking for $5 to $8 million. Plus, you know, Haney's very vocal with their purses. We know that their last purse, they made $3 million. So to ask for 8 or 5, I feel like maybe Rolando Romero could be lying. I think he could be what people like to call deflecting. As the interviewer, Sean Zattel, is asking him and telling him that that would be a very good fight with he and Devin Haney, he started to say that Haney wants $5 to $8 million. I don't know that that could be true. But it is what he said. It is on a Fight Hype interview, and you can find it on Fight Hype on YouTube. Now, does this happen? I think so. I think so. If you're Tank, your date is coming upon you in October. The Keith Thurman thing doesn't sound like something that Tank Davis wants, as he took to his Instagram and Twitter and said that we, the public, believe he is Superman. So that sounds to me like he is trying to tell us, hey, I'm good, but I'm not abnormal. I'm not a superhuman. I'm not Superman. I can't just move up the welterweight and take on one of the top 4, is what it sounds like. I could be wrong. That being said, if it's not Keith Thurman, which would be a super fight, let's just be real, that would be a fantastic super fight. But if it's not going to be Thurman, who else would you get excited for? I would get excited for Devin Haney, obviously. That's the biggest fight to make in Atlanta or Vegas in that division. So I like it. That being said, though, if you can't get Devin Haney, right, because he's allegedly, if he wants $5 to $8 million for for Romero, he's going to want a lot more for a guy like Gervonta Davis. According to Romero, self-proclaimed Roberto Duran, of this era. That's according to him. That's us assuming he's telling the truth. Haney wants $5 to $8 million to face Rolando Romero, so you just got to assume he'll want more to face Tank. Now, Floyd also already came out and told you guys, look, we are going to keep things in-house. Romero would be in-house. Romero would fit that bill. He'd be right there. That's what they already suggested. And what did they do? Systematically raise the name of Tank. by associating his name with welterweights and the very lucrative welterweight division, by further associating his name with Keith Thurman, by saying that they would sign to make that fight in a nanosecond or 2 nanoseconds. Thurman being the great polarizing speaker that he is, he put it out there recently this weekend and had people really going crazy as, he started talking about the fight outside of just our interview with the Boxing Voice, which can be found here on the BoxingVoice.com YouTube or on Fight Hype YouTube. And again, if it's not Thurman, we know it's not Berto. He's disappeared from the rankings. We know it's not Ryan. He's not ready. And he's not real. Jay-Z's that deal. Nah. But so I mean, really, what's out there for Tank? What's out there for Tank? I would love to do a poll. Who should Tank fight next? And I'm only going to put realistic options, T.O.'s not realistic. Ryan's not realistic. Who's realistic? Devin is a free agent. We'll have to put Devin in there. Devin Haney's a free agent. Devin Haney. Rolando Romero is in-house. Rolando Romero. What else? That's realistic. Who else is realistic? Let's go back to these rankings. We got 8 minutes before we get our good friend Jake Donovan. Let me make sure that's not him on the line. I know he's got a 10 o'clock, so we want to get him on as soon as possible. Jake. Is this you? Yes, it is. Jake, do you want to come on early to knock it out? I know you're busy. How are you? Good morning.
Yeah, what's up? Nah, man, do what you need to do, man. I'm just listening to.
Yeah, no, so, I would rather get you on early since you got a 10 o'clock.
Okay, no doubt.
If you could just tell us, about your breaking news story, obviously, with the WBA, and do you believe that this is actually going to take place? I know that most recently Dan Rayfield came out on his social media retweeting his 6-year-old story when the WBA president told him they were going to reduce titles 6 years ago.
Look, it's a fair question given the WBA's history. I believe it's going to happen because they know all eyes are on them, and they've acknowledged the damage that they've caused to the sport. So that's why I'm a firm believer that this process, I think it's going to play out at least for the rest of the year. What happens in 2022 and beyond, I'm not going to go ahead and predict that. But I do believe there's going to be a dedicated effort to start to consolidate these titles. They've already begun the process, and for now, I do believe they're going to follow through.
And do you think the process that they've started, is it the right path? Is this what you would have recommended? Because from what I can gather, it's only the interim that they're eliminating at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's all right. So what they're doing now is the word interim title is no longer going to be acknowledged in the WBA rankings. The only case is like the way that they do it with, I'm going to say the WBO and the IBF because they handle it the right way. If a champion is injured and can't fight, then they'll assign an interim titleist if there's not like a secondary titleist in that division already. Other than that, the WBA is no longer going to start doing these interim title fights like they've been doing, just throwing a belt just because the promoter asks for it. So to answer your question, though, yeah, I do believe that you have to start somewhere. Obviously, everyone's saying, okay, I want to see, Tank stripped. I want to see Anthony Joshua. But, you can't start big because then the process never seems to go anywhere from there. It's like once you go big, it's like they make that statement, then that's it. Everyone acts like the problem is resolved, and it's not. So you start from the bottom, and then you start building your way towards the top. So once you see that it works with the steps that they're taking, I do believe then we're going to see, the bigger fights finally play out the way boxing fans expect it.
So, I mean, today's show, we're assuming based off the newest mandate that the interim champion is no longer an interim and he's now become a mandatory for the regular champion. Is that correct? In general terms, yes, that is correct. But there are some divisions, though,
like Jamal James, for example, he's a secondary titleist to Yordenis Ugas, but he's already in negotiations for his own mandatory fight. So therefore, I'm actually the interim belt is vacant there at that weight. They did away with it. But hypothetically, let's say if they allowed Gabriel Nice to keep the title, he wouldn't automatically become the mandatory challenger because there's already one in that division. So that's why they said they have to do it on a division by division basis, evaluate like who is owed a title fight, and then kind of wean out the process from there. So for now, they're just de-recognizing all the interim titleists. In divisions where there isn't already an assigned mandatory challenger, the interim titleist will become that.
All right. So at 130, Chris Colbert no longer interim, and he's mandated to fight Roger Gutierrez, which I think was something that was already released before this all came down, right?
Correct, yes. As a matter of fact, immediately after Roger Gutierrez beat Rene Alvarado in their third fight, that was already the plan to order that fight. They ordered it, I believe, the next day on a Sunday, which is unusual. But yeah, they already had it in their mind that was going to be the next division they were going to consolidate.
All right, and so is it safe to believe? I mean, because obviously all the internet vloggers and YouTubers like myself, podcasters, we believe because of this mandate, we'll get this in-house fight, which sounds like what Mayweather said after Romero fought, that they're going to keep it in-house. Do you think we'll get Rolando Romero versus Gervonta Tank Davis in October, since he was the interim and I guess theoretically would be the mandated challenger for Gervonta's regular title at 135?
That's a very good question. I'm going to start with whether they're going to proceed with Gervonta Davis fighting in October, because the pay-per-view market is very crowded right now. So let's say, hypothetically, Gervonta goes, he can't fight October 9th because you got Fury the Wilder 3, assuming that fight actually happens. November 6th, you got Canelo fighting Caleb Plant. So for Gervonta to fight in October, that's putting him either October 23rd, October 30th. You're already competing with two major pay-per-views by then. So that's the first step. It's just a matter. I'm not sure we're going to see that fight right away. I would love it. Rolly keeps calling for it, and if we're of the belief that the promoters work for the fighters, if that's the fight they want, why not make that fight happen? It's the fight that makes the most sense. I would like to see the WBA order that fight, but what they did with Gervonta, actually, they sent him a notice last week, and I believe he has until the end of the day Friday to let them know what weight he actually plans to campaign at. So they're kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt because he has 3 belts. So once he decides what weight he's going to fight at, my understanding is he's going to lose the other 2 belts, that he can't hold all 3 at once.
And your most educated guess, of what division he stays at, is it 130, 135, or 140?
My theory is that I believe he would be most effective at 135 just because it's the most lucrative division, and he's the biggest payday for anyone at those weights, in my opinion, anyway. So I believe he could create the greatest legacy for himself at 135. I'm not going to go ahead and say that's where his next fight takes place, though. It's very possible he winds up fighting someone like Albert Puello for the at 140, like where they consolidate those 2 fights.
What? Albert Puello?
Yeah, I'm just speaking hypothetically. One thing we need to say with Gervonta, I mean, the man just survived the plane crash.
Hell yeah.
So first, let's hope he's okay. Let's hope he's moved past that, and he's even in a position where he can train for an October fight.
Yeah, but you make a lot of sense now, man. With all those fights in October, I just feel like Leonard Ellerbe, even Tank and Mayweather, they're so cocky. Are they really going to push their star fighter off of the date that they announced almost 5 months ago?
Look, it's a process. I mean, Gervonta Davis fights. I know Mayweather Promotions, a lot of their fighters, they have their own thing. Not necessarily all of them fight under the PBC banner. Tank does, though. He's one of the few. He and Rolly both. They fight for Mayweather. They're both advised by Al Heyman. They're both PBC fighters. So, you can't just say, well, I'm going to fight on this date. I don't care what the rest of the schedule is. We know that's not how PBC works.
Yeah, for sure.
They tend to work in unison. So, if it's going to, they're always about making the best business decisions go. So that's one thing, Floyd has taught us, in his, all-time great career. So it's about making the best business decisions. So that's going to be the next step for Tank.
Have you heard?
I'm
sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No, I was going to say, I don't believe anyone is that arrogant to where they're going to say, well, I'm going to fight on this date. I don't care how much money it's going to lose me.
Absolutely.
Plans change.
That's why I like interrupting. I was going to ask, have you heard any rumors about Haney, Romero negotiations and or offers? Because Romero is on a Fight Hype interview saying that Haney wanted $5 to $8 million, and that just sounds absurd. There's no way Bill could have asked for $5 to $8 million to fight Rolly on Showtime.
Look, they have the right to ask whatever they want. What they're going to get is what they're willing to accept is another story. But
do you even think?
Look, Haney wants a big fight next.
But do you even think that Bill is capable of asking for $5 to $8 million for that fight?
That to me, that sounds like hyperbole.
Okay.
I mean, especially just to have it on Showtime. I mean, for that kind of money, that's not going to be on like a network. That's not going to be off pay-per-view. Devin Haney is not a pay-per-view fighter yet.
Is Rolando, because I mean he's out here calling himself this era's Roberto Duran. He does bring a level of excitement, and I guess he trolls pretty good on in the internet. Can he build a fight? Can he build a pay-per-view fight? Can they test the water with a Devin Haney and a Rolando Romero?
That's a hell of a test. I mean, to go to start with Devin Haney. But yeah, I do believe Rolly is a star in the making. People want to downplay it, but even if you hate the man, I mean, just, to have that much energy to hate on someone, you have to acknowledge his existence. And Rolly is already there. It's not like people don't know who he is. They know enough about him to not like him. So, you nailed it. If he was 154 pounds, the ultimate fight in boxing would be him and Jamel Charlo. That'd be like the most epic press conference of all time. That's like the ultimate troll fight. Rolly's already getting to that level. He needs the accomplishments to go with it. But, he's doing all the right things. I personally like Rolly. I get a kick out of it. The way he goes about his business.
For sure, man. So I do want to ask, what do you? I'm hearing that the Jamel, because you brought him up. I'm hearing Jamel's IBF with someone named like Murataya or something like that is official.
Yeah. Bakra Murtazaliev. My understanding is there is an agreement in place, and the conversation stopped dead there. So whether that means they're actually going to go through with the fight, or if there's another agreement where they're going to allow Jamel to maybe pursue a rematch with Brian Castano, if that's on the table, I'm not there yet. But I do know they've reached an agreement to where the IBF is not going to order a first bid.
Oh, nice.
So that's where talks stand with them now. But it is a fight where if Jamel can't fight Brian Castano in a rematch straight away, you might as well get that mandatory out of the way. I don't love the fight, but if it's one that you have to take care of, and he wants a second fight for the year and it's not going to be Castano, go ahead and get that fight out of the way.
Jake, I love you, man. You make this too easy. You use the word purse bid. That's what everybody's excited about. What do you think about this Crawford Porter purse bid? And what's the probability of Al winning this purse bid and putting this fight on the Canelo undercard? I mean, obviously that's going to help Canelo get a bigger back end check, but I mean, this isn't going to be its own main event, is it? I mean, Earl and Porter only did 275 on pay-per-view, and that was just the rumored number.
Right, exactly. That's an expensive. I don't expect anything. I mean, look, if they're not going to put David Benavidez on the Canelo Taylor plant card, I would not expect a Terrence Crawford Sean Porter fight to land on there. You're talking about a fight where it's going to cost at least $7 million probably to win that fight. I'd say maybe even $8. Somewhere in that vicinity.
Wait.
So
Jake, you really think Bob, who just bid 1.7 for Tio with all the belts, is going to come out of nowhere and bid 7 or 5 for Crawford?
All right, look, you have to understand this. Bob did enough on the Teofimo fight to where that satisfied his contractual amount. He's going to have to do the same with Terrence Crawford.
Can you say that again? Because you got a lot of background. So you said Bob said what?
My bad. look, Top Rank. So with the Teofimo fight, Top Rank bid just enough to where that satisfies the amount, the contractual amount they owe him per fight.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to do the same with Terrence Crawford. They're not gonna go in there with a $2 million bid. PBC will easily outbid that if that's all Top Rank's gonna. Those two sides are gonna figure out how much the other is gonna bid, and they're gonna decide how much the fight is worth to them. Now, I don't expect PBC to go in there with a $10 million check. To me, they got to figure if the fight does maybe $200,000 as its own pay-per-view event, you can get away with paying $7, maybe $8 million for that fight. I believe that's going to be the winning amount.
Wow. So
yeah.
what would you, I guess your educated guess on Terrence Crawford mandatory minimum today? Because that helps us with the purse bid. Is he still a 4.5? Is he 5.5?
I wish I had that information.
Okay.
I'd say it's somewhere around in the 4 million range, 4.5 million.
Now, the leaked information on The Athletic was that these two parties, Crawford and Porter, were seeking $5 million. Again, I love Porter, but does that make sense to you? Is Porter seeking $5 million?
The key part is, at what point does PBC decide it's not worth it for Sean? If they feel he's worth $5 million and he's not going to get $5 million for the fight, that's the real problem. None of us have the right to tell a fighter how much they're worth. I mean, if you and I are paying for the fight and Sean Porter said, I want $5 million, I'll be like, sorry, man, I don't have it for you. I'm not going to make that money back. But we don't have that right to tell a fighter, his worth.
So
that's
let me
up to a
ask you,
promoter to pay.
But isn't his worth what he's gotten in the past, or is your worth what you can negotiate?
What he's gotten in the past is why he's getting 40% of the purse bid as opposed to just getting 20%. Because Terrence Crawford, as a super champion, would be entitled to 80% of the winning purse. So because Sean Porter has been paid as much as he has over his past 3 fights, he's entitled to 40% of that cut. So that's why I'm saying if you get a bid of like $7 million, that puts Sean at $2.8 million, which, in my opinion, I think I think it's fair market value, if not more so, for a fight with Terrence Crawford.
But didn't Brooke get 2.5?
Look, man, you know the saying, right? Yesterday's price is not today's price.
But that's what I'm saying.
You can't worry about what this guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Brooke got
if that's
2.5.
how fighters going to operate, right? That's what Top Rank was willing to pay.
I mean,
so if
terrible,
PBC is going to look,
I can't believe that Bob
would
give them 2.5 for Brooke, but he can't come to an agreement with Porter, a 2-time champion that's actually worth it at this point in his career. Like, Brooke was done.
All right, but also at that point too, we don't know where talks ever went though, because all we really heard from Terrence and from Sean Porter was that they were friends. There was one point they weren't really big on fighting each other. Then they decided, okay, well, if we have to fight each other, we will. But, how far did those talks ever go in the past?
I don't know how far those talks have went, but I'll tell you this. There's only one guy out there that's saying this is a legacy fight. This is a fight I want. This is the fight that I want. I would rather sit out than if I don't get Earl or Crawford, I'll sit out the rest. That's only Porter saying that. I feel like Terrence isn't really beat for this fight.
I agree with that. I will say, look, I know for a fact, Sean, not just because I worked with him, in the Olympics, just, as you said, what Sean says in public, he tends to say what he means. Sean's not the type to throw out, nonsense. I do believe he wants this fight. And he knows that if he doesn't get this fight, who else is he going to face, in the next few months for the money that he's expecting to fight? So at the same time, Terrence has to defend his title against someone. He's not going to sit here and ride out, the one fight that's remaining on his contract with Top Rank. Yeah. He's got to fight somebody, so why not get paid for a fight with Sean Porter?
All right, we got 20 minutes left. I'm not going to use them all. I got one more question for you. I need you to spice things up, man. What industry inside info did you know about the Caleb Plant-Canelo fight, right? Because those first negotiations, there was a lot of fans upset. I'm particularly upset with Canelo with this one-way rematch clause. I feel like that's the same reason Wilder-Joshua never happened when Wilder accepted the 17-5. Why do champions try to enforce this one-way rematch on another champion? Isn't that disrespectful?
It's disrespectful. It's also up to the other champion, though, in that case, to decide, you know what, I'm worth more than that. I should have more of a say. I give Caleb credit because all along he was always willing to do whatever it took to make this fight happen. People they dump on his resume. They say he's not a real champ. He's a paper titleist or whatever. He's the one that's wanted this fight for as long as he's been, I should say as long as Canelo's been campaigning at super middleweight. But his quest has always been to become the first ever undisputed super middleweight champion. Caleb, I've known that since, I've known him since his amateur days.
Well, let me interject.
That's always been his goal as a pro.
Let me interject because you get the internet fans that say, well, how does Caleb want to be the first where he's had 4 offers?
Okay, so that goes back to Caleb knowing his worth. Every time, look, I know people made a lot about last year after he fought Vincent Feigenboots that, he wanted this long camp. He didn't want to go straight into another camp to fight Canelo. He knew the backlash that was going to come with it, but that's how he feels. He wanted to take a break after that fight. He trained for a long time to get to that fight. It came a little later than he expected. He wanted that break, and he knew there was going to be backlash when he said, okay, I'm not available to fight Canelo in May. But guess what? The pandemic came, and, Canelo didn't fight anybody in May because nobody fought. But when the fight came back around, he just didn't want an offer where, okay, we're going to fight you on 4 weeks' notice, 5 weeks' notice. Caleb feels he's above that. He shouldn't have to accept the fight on short notice like that. Callum Smith did, and look at the performance we got out of him. That was not, it was a great win for Canelo, but it wasn't a particularly, great fight. It wasn't even a good fight. And Caleb feels his worth is that he deserves a full training camp for a fight of that magnitude. And that's the one thing he was always willing to fight for. He wants full drug testing for every fight. If you fight him, you got to do full body testing for at least 8 weeks, not this 3-4 week stuff. So Caleb went in.
You're saying Plant. If you fight Plant, you got to do VADA.
Absolutely, 100%.
Wow. So
yeah.
Was that a sticking point? They wouldn't give him.
No. I wouldn't say, the specific amount of drug testing, but Caleb wanted to be treated like a champion. I mean, he's getting the championship payday, but it was never just about, okay, well, here's $10 million. We're going to dictate every other term. Caleb wanted to have some say. The one thing, he wasn't going to take this fight on short notice. That was where he was always going to draw the line, and that's where it was getting to in the talks. I think that's why everyone ultimately backed off, because we saw Canelo was just getting a little bit more ridiculous with each demand to where they saw, okay, you know what, this guy's just never going to agree to the fight. Why even continue? Yeah. So I think they did the right thing at that point. But, just kind of, everyone was, the fight's dead. Canelo's going to fight Bivol. Caleb Plant's never going to. I knew that talks were going to continue. I'm not going to say I knew when they were going to get agreed to, but I knew the fight was never dead. And I was on record in saying that. So, but I knew at that point the smartest thing was for everyone to just kind of take a step back, reevaluate. Excuse me. Once Canelo decided, you know what, we can go do this in November, that's where hope was restored that the fight could happen. And sure enough, that's what took place.
Nice. So, you said Canelo was getting more and more ridiculous. What was, I guess, the most ridiculous thing for you in all your years of covering the sport?
So at the time, and it's going to sound, it sounds ignorant in retrospect because we saw what just happened with last week's fight. But just expecting that same $40 million payday, regardless of who he fights, I thought that was a little, you have to understand. It's like they're not going to dump that much money in you and lose if you're not going to come back even for a second fight.
No, that was exactly
that's amazing,
my issue. So now, do you have knowledge of this current situation? Do you know if Pacquiao got the same guarantee for Ugas?
I don't like speaking on speculation. I will just say it's my understanding. I don't believe he took a pay cut, but I don't have intimate knowledge of that. Okay. So I'm not going to say definitively that he did. My understanding is that he got the same payday. That's why it was so crucial for Ugas to take the fight and, keep the line moving. And that's why the pay-per-view, price point stayed the same as well.
I definitely paid $80, man. It was 70, 75, and they still hit me with the tax for $5, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. I got that same bill, and it did hurt. But I'm glad Ugas got the win. It wasn't a particularly great fight. It definitely wasn't a great co-feature. But if it's the last time we see Manny Pacquiao, then it's I don't know. I don't like spending money on pay-per-view as it is. But it wasn't pretty to see that, Bill.
Nah. It ended up being a decent fight. I'm glad I did pay for it because I would have missed an upset, and upsets are what makes this sport. So, but I am gonna thank you. I don't want to. I want to make sure I give you enough time for your 10 o'clock. And
nah, you're good, man.
and thank you for your time. Please give out your social media.
Yeah.
Once again, we're on the line with
Yeah.
boxing writer for Boxing Scene, Jake Donovan. Jake in the Box on Twitter.
There you go. Yep, that's it. Jake in the Box on Twitter. Jake in the Box with the underscore on Instagram. But Twitter's the best place to always follow me, and of course, all my content on Boxing Scene.
You got Jake Paul winning. Feel me? Is it by stoppage or what?
Yeah, I think Jake Paul will be 4-0 with 4 knockouts.
Oh,
the
wow.
one fight, I'm going to say this, the one fight I am interested in is Amanda Serrano, just because I want to see her become undisputed featherweight champion.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad, I wish she got that
decent
unification bout that she wanted. It is, and I like the fact that they're really anchoring that fight as, they're promoting that fight as the co-feature. She deserves it. She's one of the greatest, fighters in women's boxing history, and, I'm glad she's finally getting this platform. We get a look at Daniel Dubois for fans who haven't seen him fight. Tommy Fury, it is what it is, but that could be a future Jake Paul opponent. So it's, it's strategic, placement on his being on the show. So Charles Conwell and Montana Love, I'm glad they're getting their hometown showcase. In spite of Charles Conwell's, forget, I don't even know if I want to go there, but I'm glad that they're both getting a fight in their hometown.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that Branchek Montana Love fight. He's gonna be pushed.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That's a that's a tough test to ask, for Montana Love, especially in his hometown. It's like, usually you get a soft touch, so, we'll see. Hopefully Baranchek is, fully recovered from, last year's epic fight with Jose Zepeda. But if he's, even close to championship form, it's easily the toughest test of Montana Love's career.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jake, man, thank you for coming on short notice. Always appreciate you, man. Keep fighting a good fight out there, man. You're doing a fantastic job, and congratulations on the article and breaking the news.
Thank you so much, Nez. I always appreciate the love, man.
No problem. Thanks for coming on.
Let's go, champ. Right. Feel me?
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene. Shout out to Jake for coming on short notice. That was very interesting. It was good to hear that he had an issue with the same issues I had, man. If you're a purist, you're a purist. These fanboys are crazy. It's like, bro, as a businessman, how the hell can I guarantee you that? Like, man, you're the one being difficult in negotiations if you're saying someone gets injured and we can't even talk about it. Like, nah, fuck you, pay me. Like, no way, Jose. We got to go to the board.
Activated.
But what's up, Alexander? Are you on mute over there? Swole face?
Activated.
2 times. Activated 2 times, huh?
Reactivated. Appreciate Jake Donovan always coming on, man, and giving us a scoop and his insights on the game, bro. Yeah, it looks like he thought it was ridiculous too. I think a lot of people did, and it's just Caleb Plant throughout that whole negotiation, even though we gave him crap, you know what I'm saying, for not taking the fight right away. He wanted to have a say in something, and Canelo was basically hogging all the A side privileges,
I never did my poll, man. Fuck. All this time is just sitting there. I never press ask the community. I never finished though. I need some opponents, bro. Who should Tank fight realistically, Alex? Obviously T.O.'s in all sorts of trouble with Camboso, so he can't fight. Ryan is, sick right now or coming back from that mental illness. Devin is a free agent, so I got him on the list. Rolando is a hometown fight. Same side of the street fight, so I got him on the list. But who else can Tank fight next?
Well, let's be frank, right? What divisions can he fight in right now? I mean, we know we're trying to make him go superhero.
He got 3. He got 3. He can fight in 3, but
say 130, 135, and 140.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if he wants to go Super Saiyan 4, he goes up and fights Keith Thurman at 147.
Yes.
And that falls into the realm of not really. It could happen, but let's work with the other divisions before we get him up there to Super Saiyan 5 over here. In the featherweight division,
I would stay at 135. You could fight Romero. You could fight Devin. Michelle Rivera is building a name. You know, and I'm just saying, you know, Devin, because he's a free agent. Michelle, he's on that side of the street. You know, Javier Fortuna is on that side of the street.
Let's agree on one thing first, right?
And that Frank Martin just got a knockout the other day. He's number 7 in the WBA. He's coming from nowhere. Like, what up, though?
Wow, I gotta look into Mr. Frank Martin because I can't put the face to the name, Champy. And this is what I was gonna ask you. Do you think that the boxing
Isaac Gonzalez is there too? He's been getting that Showtime love, so maybe they, you know, Mexican.
All right, so check it. You're saying these names, right, that I'm really not too familiar with, and I'm pretty sure that the boxing public probably isn't either. So I'm saying, who do we want to see Gervonta in there with? We want to see him with a big name, right?
Yeah, but who's the realistic big name is my thing. Because Vasile is available or not, but is he really? Because he's with Top Rank. So it's like, who's available? Who's available? Like, who's
let's start with the easiest path,
with
right?
date and promoter. Which is what? What's the easiest
PBC.
path?
Let's look at the PBC.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Romero. That's the biggest fight.
Go.
That's the biggest fight. I don't see anything else on that side of the street. Even if you go to 140 on that side of the street, I mean, I don't want to see him in there with Rancis. You know?
Why not?
Because I don't like Bartholomew's style. He ain't did nothing to get a tank fight. And then you got Gary Russell, but that's not the Gary Russell I want. That's another Gary Russell. He's at number 4, but that ain't the Gary Russell, you know. We want Gary Russell Jr., not Gary Russell.
So wait, you're confusing me now. So who's
Gary Russell is Gary Russell Jr.'s brother.
Okay.
But that's not the Gary Russell I want. I want Gary Russell Jr. to fight Tank, not Gary Russell, my younger brother who just jumped on the scene. No, give me the established Gary Russell Jr.
Yo, shout out to the UK, man. You see these rankings? Josh Taylor.
Yeah. He's at 140, you know. That's where the smoke is at 140. They got Sabril Matias. I think he's with PBC or maybe not. I'm not sure. But those fights don't make sense for Tank. Like, Tank ain't just fighting some dudes like that no one ever heard of, even though I guess he does, right? Because he fought some fighters that people never heard. I don't know.
And who's Josh Taylor in line? Who's next up on the mandatory?
He got a mandatory with somebody, man.
I'm seeing
he got to do the Cottrell mandatory.
Okay. He's defending the WBO.
Catterall, Cottrell, whatever his name is.
Catterall, yeah. All right, so because I'm looking at Gervonta Davis, you know, he's a super...
Which is crazy because my man just did that other IBF mandatory. As soon as he won the belts, he had to do the mandatory with like some dude that's, I don't even know his name. You know what I mean?
Jeremias?
No. The dude he fought already. He beat him already. It was like some dude. Go to his resume. He just knocked out some dude, and that's who it was. It was like a Thailand dude or something like that.
And he was a Mando?
Yeah, he was
for
the
that
Mando.
For that sanctioning body?
Yeah. There it goes right there.
Holy moly, damn. Oh, I do remember that. He knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah, it was a waste of time. That's what Bob was saying. Like, yo, these dudes, you know, this dude's forcing you to do mandatories that's not even worth it. And Bob don't like it because he got to pay. He got to pay
That's
for that.
what it is. Because, if I'm getting Mandos like this and it's keeping me active, shit.
But that's the thing. You ain't going to get TV to keep paying for this type of Mando.
Yeah, for the promoter is a little itchy.
For the promoter and the TV, they like, bro, like this shit ain't gonna bring no eyeballs. Who the fuck wanna see Amping Chung Kang Song?
Yo, you actually got that one. Amping Chung Kang Song. You sounded Thailand. Yo. But wait a minute. So Gervonta Davis, he's at the 140-pound division. Doesn't, I guess because of scheduling and other things, he won't have that chance to who wants to see him in there with who's this guy? Albert Puello?
Nah, and he's Dominican, but hell no, man. See, I don't do that Mexican shit. I don't do that. Oh, he's from, fuck that. Albert Puyo, whatever, he ain't ready yet, man. And he ain't a tank fight. Like, we don't want that shit.
All right, so we got to stick to the lustrous fights.
I don't
right?
even know who the fuck Alberto beat to be in number one, man.
I'm gonna have to check
get
him
there. Like, get a tank.
Yo,
fight.
you know you happy that your Dominican
I'm
president is making their way into
Let
these
him
ranks.
go fight. Let him go. Oh my God, he need this fight. Look at oh my God.
Yo, he's southpaw too.
He need this fight. Let him go. Oh my God, they got him scheduled to fight Rancies. Waste of time. Yep. Waste of time because Rancies is number 8. Why are you fighting backwards? Waste of time. Yeah, I hear you. And he fought this year against Jesus Antonio Rubio, which I never heard of, and went 12. He got 10 knockouts. He going 12 in DR. How you going 12 in DR? He went 12 in DR another time here with Jonathan. Oh, wait. This is Maravilla, though.
Yeah, look.
It is him. This Lou DeBella, La Maravilla, Jonathan Alonso. I know him. He's pretty popular on Instagram.
He went 12 with him, and that was a good test.
He swear he a model.
He's from Spain.
So he's Dominican too, but you know how it is. You move to Spain.
Oh yeah, true.
But I know him. He trains and he used to be from New York. You and I went to one of his fights. I got a counterpunch from Mr. PBC.
Counterpunch. Mr. BBC, don't get hit with the crickets.
Oh yeah. Talking about who should Gervonta Tank Davis fight?
Correct.
I got the 2 best names you ever think of.
What?
Who is it?
Robert Easter and Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee is 140, and I just don't think commercially he's there. It's a dangerous fight with no commercial value. He's obviously a puncher. And then Easter is, he's probably little bruh or big bruh, one of the two. However, What? What you say, Optimus?
Nah, he went Decepticon.
What do you say?
No, Robert Easter's 140, right?
Yeah, but he's also about billions. Usually cliques don't fight each other. Like
but that's bullshit.
If me and you in the same clique,
because I seen a post where Floyd was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna reach out to Robert Easter for a fight."
Listen, and that would be interesting if he does Robert Easter versus Tank, cause wow, they boys.
That's my call.
That's his call. I don't see the upside in that. It ain't like Robert Easter's this big draw. I mean, I tell you one thing, though. They could easily do that fight in Toledo and sell it out. Easter is a draw in Toledo. But obviously Tank is the A-side and a draw in many different places. But they could do it somewhere in Ohio. They could do it like in between Ohio, Baltimore, somewhere. Maybe the Atlanta is a good place. I don't think that Easter fights Tank.
Do you like that fight?
Nah,
Do you like that fight, though?
Nah.
Stylistically?
Nah, that's tough for Tank, man. Easter's big as fuck. Easter's big, man.
He's big, but
he don't use his
also
height.
Very thin. His body's built thin.
Yeah, he don't. But his body was built in at 130 and 135, bro. He at 140 now. You know what I'm saying? He probably ballooning at like 157 on fight night. Easy. Right. That's on. 17 pounds. That's nothing.
One question I want to ask this is we give let's say for instance Canelo a lot of crap for not fighting his Mexican opponents, right?
Yeah.
How do we feel about that with what we just spoke about? Gervonta and the cliques don't fight each other. Like, is that even like cool? Like, not cool, but it's like, how do you think boxing fans feel about that?
Shout out to Thomas Lamanna, who ain't give me that card. He ain't let us announce his card, but he's listening to the show. He said Tevin Farmer. I still want the Tevin fight. They never gave us the Tevin fight. That makes a lot of sense. Anywhere in that DMV, Atlanta, Philly, everywhere. They could do that anywhere. I mean, in Philly, I think it's too small. I mean, Thomas, you listening, right? How big is the Leah Core Center? How many holes? I thought it was only like 7,000 or something like that. I could be wrong. You want to look that up? I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's in Philadelphia, the Leah Core Center or something like that.
Okay. The 2,300
arena. 2,300 arena. That's too small.
That was like 3,000, right? Or something like that.
Like that.
Let's say that again one more time.
He said he postponed. I'm on. We'll see, Thomas. You on air. I'm screen sharing your text. The world know you putting me on. Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Tell me the name of the location again. Sorry,
yeah,
bro.
see, he said 8,000. So they won't do it there. They won't do it there. It's got to be. You got to do it in DC. You could do it in DC because I know my man Kendall Holt did lose to Lamont in DC, and then Amir Khan for Lamont in DC. And there's a spot in DC that could be even bigger. And Thomas just said that the 2300 arena only holds 15 to 18. Damn. Ooh. That thing looks so good though. Wow.
15 to 18. Yeah, Matt. It looks pretty big, but not
yeah,
5,
it looks
000.
so big that 2300. I didn't know it was that small. I was there for this girl's first show. Raging
a couple
Babes.
of people. Bro, but this is a 130 pound fight for Tevin if he fights Tevin Farmer. No,
well, Tevin moved up.
Gervonta Davis. Huh?
Tevin moved up to
135?
135. He announced that. Now, he hasn't had an official fight at 135, but he definitely announced he's moving up. Tevin definitely needs something, too. I mean, he's been out since the loss to JoJo.
I think he's a gamer. He's gaming out there, chilling.
No, he's doing everything other than boxing. Like, you can see him training, but, like, obviously he's focusing on businesses outside of boxing. He's trying to keep that income coming.
That's right.
He can't sit around and wait on a promoter.
Okay, so this fight would most likely happen at 135.
I mean, it'll happen at the weight the Tank wants. He the A side. That's just, but you know, technically speaking, Tevin fights at 135 now is what he announced, and Thomas is saying that the ESA venue, which is the venue he's going to be doing his fight, is 4,000. Yeah, man. I was talking to Demond Richardson. He was supposed to be on Thomas's card. Now he's fighting on, I think, Rodney's card, maybe, or that Cheyenne or Sin Promotions, Sin Sports, or something like that.
How come we don't talk about Gervonta versus Vasily Lomachenko?
Because he's across the street. Like, I would love that fight, but is Bob gonna do it? Look at what Bob is doing to Porter. Like, you just gave Brooke 2.5, but you can't give that. And essentially, that's what, you know, we just had Jake on. He did the math. That's about what they're going to need to win the purse bid so that Porter gets his 2.8, okay?
40%, right?
And Jake just broke it down. It ain't what we think or what the fans think Porter's value is. Porter's value is so high that the WBO itself, the sanctioning body for the champion who defended the belt and has been on a 9 knockout streak for that sanctioning body, they said, hey, our champion, you can't get 80%. I know you're a super champ, but this man is worth way more than that. So our normal 80-20 split ain't going to work.
Not happen.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody sees Porter's value. The fans, the sanctioning body, obviously the WBO, because they're live streaming the fucking event. They're going to, first time ever in boxing history, a purse bid will be live streamed on the internet. So everyone sees his value. Only the Crawford delusional fans and Bob Arum ball lickers are the ones saying that Porter ain't worth whatever they want him not to be worth. You know what I mean? People that don't want to see Crawford in a real fight. People that just love Top Rank for whatever reason. But, I mean, all the proof is in the pudding. All the proof is in the pudding. It's a very high-profile purse bid, for one. We've been following the situation for maybe 6 months. Porter's been talking about it on his own very popular podcast. It's made Fox TV airwaves. Like I said, the live stream. All that I want to happen in this fairy tale drama story that we're getting with Porter Crawford is, no, it's not the first time. We said it yesterday. Oh, yeah. What other purse bid was live streamed? Rizzy. Fuck is you talking about?
I mean, I've heard of weigh-ins all day, but purse bids? Nah.
Fuck is he talking about? What other purse bid was live streamed? Knock it off. Knock it off.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a negotiation like going down like
No.
live stream. I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, man.
And if it has happened, shit.
Normally, the sanctioning body emails you the results. You Google it. You the one interjecting a fake story. Now you talking about Google it. Give the name. You want me to Google it? Give the name. You liar. You're a liar until you prove your innocence. Now, but anyway, yeah, man. I mean, it's high profile. So if you can't get it right there, why is Tank, who's the A side, who's doing pay-per-view, gonna offer you a fight when what are you gonna do? You're gonna price yourself out. You're gonna look for a way to sabotage it. If you're telling me Porter ain't worth it, why all of a sudden you're gonna concede and say Tank is worth it? You won't. You know what I mean? It's just, and even look, and I say we, even though I didn't believe Tank wasn't Caleb wasn't worth anything, but we the people tried to box Caleb into not being worth anything, and look at what he's worth, more than every other fighter. You know, so you know you get what you can negotiate.
They'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get it all day. Okay, let me just keep looking at this matchmaking here. So you say Vasily Lomachenko then obviously is beyond reachable because of the whole across the street thing, right? What other big fight?
We still ain't find another name. I haven't made not one poll because we don't like. There's no other names besides Devin and Rolando that are realistic.
I mean,
I guess I'm.
The thing is that we don't
Cruz.
want him fighting backwards, right? So I sit here and I say Richard Comey, like it's not.
Richard Comey's with the other side, the other guys.
The other guys.
Lou DiBella in Top Rank. Like Lou could have had a fight with Richard Comey and Devin, and then he started doing business with Bob to see if he could get the Loma fight. It's just, you know, you wanna start a bidding war. You know, you go to Bob like, hey man, they giving Comey X amount of money to fight a world champion in Devin. Oh well, I can give you. You know,
it's horrible.
Exactly. I can make you a better offer over here for Loma. What do you want? So they pitting each other against them.
It's tough because you know, as a fan, you want to see him with the top guys that he's being spoken about. Devin Haney, Rolando Romero. Obviously, there's these big names here, but you know he's working backwards because Rolando Romero is ahead of Vasily Lomachenko in the WBA. So it's like there's other guys in line. And if you look at the top number one position, Vasily's number one in the ring, WBO. So he has that
yeah, and that's the thing. He has his own in-house options. Being number one in the WBO, which is a belt that normally is a top-ranked belt, you know, and at 35 it is. It's a Teofimo belt who signed a top rank. That's probably the route that he's gonna go. Like he'll get a stay busy fight with Comey, and then be eligible for the mandatory rematch with Tio. They won't do an outside fight. It's just it just don't make
business
sense.
as usual.
Yeah, like why am I gonna give you half of my car if I can sell the whole thing? Like, it just don't make sense, man.
So man, let's just say it. Rolando Romero, that's the best option.
And the truth is, it's only if Tank picks that belt. Tank was given a notice by the WBA instructing him that he needed to decide what belt he was going to keep because Tank holds a 140-pound WBA, a 135-pound WBA, and a 130-pound WBA. All different versions, but he holds 3 of them. So they've sent him a letter where he needs to decide, I think by the end of this week, Jake was telling us that he's staying at 130, 135, or 140. I think 130 is probably one of the best divisions for him, but it's also ultra competitive and a lot of top-ranked business.
Making that weight too, no?
You got to do, making the weight is tough, and you got to do a lot of half-half business. You got to do a big fight with you and Oscar Valdez, split pay-per-view. Another big fight with the winner of Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson, split pay-per-view. So it's just like, I don't know, you know, based off being in this sport for so long, that any of these dudes are willing to sell half, man. They're not like, why would they sell half when they can do Shakur versus Valdez for the whole?
That's it.
They're doing Jamal versus Shakur for the whole. So it's the same for Tank. He's going to stay at a division where he's got more players. And I think that's 135. He's got Isaac Gonzalez that people know, but not a lot. But he's been doing his thing on Showtime. He's got Devin Haney, who's a free agent. Rolando Romero, who's right there. Michel Rivera, who's right there. You know. Jezreel Corrales, who's right there. Those are all in-house fights. Not saying I like any of them, but they in-house. You got Javier right there, Fortuna, you know.
Why is Shakur only ranked in one of these damn sanctioning bodies?
Because he only paying for one.
He's only in the ring.
Nah, he's in the WBO.
Really? Where?
He probably got the interim at 130. That's why he ain't in the WBO. Because remember, Jamel got sick and all that hold up, and Shakur let him fight Frampton. So he won he won an interim title. So that whenever you win some sort of title, they take you out of all the rankings. So Shakur is the mandatory. Remember, they went, that's what's going on.
Okay. Well, I learned something because I'm like, man, he should be on these, but you're only on them if you're paying, right? You got to be paying sanctioning fees for freaking 5 sanctioning bodies. Wow, it's tough being a fighter. So, bro, Rolando Romero is where I sit, man. According to the business side of boxing, everything's on that side. Rolando Romero challenged Gervonta Davis right away after he won his fight.
Mm-hmm. Plenty of times. The setup is there, like you're saying. The setup is there.
It's there. It's there. It's just a matter of what Rolando Romero's team is feeling like. He's saying that he could take Gervonta Davis out. He's saying he's stronger than him. He kind of left that up there in a way where he's almost like not guaranteeing.
I just don't see how they never sparred. I wish we could get Tank on. I'm pretty sure they've sparred. But at 35, you also got Cepeda. I don't know that Cepeda is with PBC, is he? He beat Tananara in that real tough fight. Is he with PBC or not?
Cepeda.
Nah, he with Golden Boy.
Yeah, Willie's in Golden Boy.
Yep, Zepeda's in Golden Boy, so you can't even get that Tank fight. You just got to, honestly, the best thing would be to do some cross-the-street business. Maybe a Joseph Diaz Jr. fight, Devin Haney fight, Mikey Garcia fight. Those are big names.
Then he retired Tanahara.
Yeah,
RTD'd him, huh?
He broke him down. Let me open up these phone lines, man. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We had a very good guest giving us some inside information. Boxing scene is really running the sport. Outside of maybe boxing scene is more active than ESPN. Even though ESPN is bigger, it's just that they upload way more.
Yeah.
They're always on point with new stuff. Looks like Philip Hergovich is back in action. He's going to be fighting.
He's been out of action.
He's going to be fighting September 10th in, I guess, Croatia somewhere.
No, Michael Hunter, huh? Who's he fighting?
No. He's fighting Radonjic. Radonjic. 22-0, 22 KOs. Marko Radonjic.
Yeah, we definitely are not too familiar with them.
My man's 22-0, 22 KOs, and no one's ever heard of him. Why he out here stunting, man?
Say word.
Word. A heavyweight.
He out here KOing cats.
A heavyweight with 22 KOs, and nobody's ever heard of him. Let me Google.
No box rec pick.
No box rec?
No box rec pick.
Oh, yeah.
At all.
He ain't even, his name don't even come up as a boxer. You got to literally put boxer.
And it's like my man has knocked out.
Oh my God, no box
all
rec
the
pick.
bartenders in Croatia, all the cab drivers.
Oh yeah. Look at the winning records. It's like, he's fought dudes with no winning records, bro. They got more losses than wins.
Yo.
And he knocking out cruiserweights as heavyweights. This dude's about to get folded, bro. Like a tin can.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
About to get folded like a tin can, man. Yo,
Yeah, nah,
his
Phillips a
KO
high
ratio
level dude.
is 100%. What do you know about that?
Yo, KO's 100%, bro. If you was looking at this just off the record, not the resume, you'd be like, yo, this guy's dangerous.
No, that's what they're doing, bro. This is what is it? Wasserman Sports? Fucking Sutherland got bought out by somebody named Wasserman, and I guess this is how they're wasting their money.
Bro, and they're fighting in Worthsea Stadium, Klagenfurt. So I'm assuming. I can't even.
Yo, why that shit sound like it's over there with Troy? What is it? My man's name, Thor and Loki.
Yeah, he's out there with fucking Odin.
Yo, what was my man name? What's Thor's brother's name? Loki and shit.
Loki
from Ragenfoot.
This is Loki. He fighting Loki right now. I would have liked to have seen this guy.
Yo, he's literally 1-star rating. How do you do 20? Even Lovejoy was ranked more stars than that, right? My man's 1 star for 22 knockouts. That's insane.
Damn. Crazy. It's like when you was in school and shit, every time you did something, they put a little star next to your name. He got 1 star.
He got the 1 star. Let me go out to these callers, man. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I'm ready!
These calls are brought to you by Big Rigs Trucking Agency, experts for all your insurance and trucking needs. For quotes and consultations, visit us at brtagency.com or contact us at 908-943-6918.
Yo, we still ain't do the poll, man. There's nobody to put on this list, man.
What you mean?
I mean, there's only 2 names. Who do we put? Should we put Linares? Haney and Gervonta already fought like
couple of the same dudes.
Yeah,
right?
they fought that dude. What's his name? Gamboa.
They did fight Gamboa.
Well put Linares on there, man. We need a 4th name, man.
So let's stay real. 135 or 140.
I think 135.
Ah, man. Look, Alberto Puello is right there at the 140.
I mean, Montana Love is fighting Branchek at what weight? 140? They probably find that 140. They probably find that 140. It was Ivan Branchek. Ivan.
Yo, why isn't Regis an option?
Regis is an option. He be calling him out. He's a free agent. Let's do Regis Prograde. People probably gonna say him.
I think Regis and Regis is free, right? Is he signed to any promotion?
Nah, he's free as a bird.
Free agent. Yeah, shout out to Mark Wahlberg. Watching Entourage again and shit.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't talk about Regis, dog. Regis is there. And that's a good fight. I'd like to see that. Regis is there,
but Regis is 135. 140.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like Gervonta Davis.
I'm gonna put at 135. You're gonna have to make him come down. He can't even come down though. You can't I don't think Tank's staying at 140. And if he's staying at 140, think about it. Why would I fight Regis for no belt? Tough fight when I could fight the dude to beat him for all the belts.
But if he beats Regis, he takes his position, no? In the number 1 spot?
What position, man? You already got the undisputed champ calling Tank out. Like, why you fighting for the Mickey Mouse belt?
Okay.
So it's like, why would I fight Regis, who you beat, when I could just fight you for all the belts?
So Josh Taylor, is it possible for Gervonta to have Josh Taylor next then? After Taylor's,
if he wants to, of course. He's the biggest fight. If he wants to, of course.
So let's put Josh Taylor.
But he's 140.
Yeah, God.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. The poll
I don't believe he's gonna go to 140 because there's a lot more danger. You got Regis up there. You got Josh Taylor up there. And you're the smaller man. There's no rush for you to go to 140. You ain't even beat everybody at 135. I would put Loma, but Loma obviously is with Top Rank. And Loma's in conversations with Comey, who's on Top Rank.
Yeah, but can a fight supersede that? Can a big money fight supersede these little intricacies that or little roads that these guys can take into another
But
bout?
that's what I'm saying. Taylor brings more money and the belts than Regis. So why am I gonna fight the dude you beat?
It's tough then at 140. So we're basically left with only a pool of 135 pounders, and everybody's got something to do. Like,
Yep.
what the heck? Rolando, man, looks like you up next, champ.
There's not many options, man. There's not many options.
Ryan Garcia. You know Ryan
Look,
Garcia.
look,
Who is Ryan Garcia even
Ryan is the
scheduled to fight?
zone. Ryan is the zone. Comey is with Top Rank. Joseph Diaz is with the zone. And then you got Linares with Golden Boy the zone. You got Javier Fortuna. That's why I said 35. I guess I got to put that name in there. That's the only other name, and he's number 6 in the ring on 135. We're going to have to put Javier in there. I mean, and look, and we already put Linares in there coming off a loss to Haney. This is just the options that's available and available. Remember, Linares actually said he'll be back at one. I mean, he'll be back in October. He announced that on his Instagram. But whatever, phone lines are open. You know the number to call in. 1425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget you could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation anywhere in the world. Stainless in Detroit, are you available?
In Jesus' name.
Take him to church.
Red belt, black belt, WON green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people, people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
Maybe he was saying, nah, I'm not available.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm at work. I got gloves on, so my phone ain't exactly cooperating with me. We talking Tank and Rolando Romero.
We're also talking Tank and who he should fight next realistically. Who do you think is realistically available and would actually fight?
It sounded like Rolly's probably his best realistic option. I mean, it's probably too early to call it a super fight, but I think it'd be a big fight between him and Haney if they built it up well enough. I mean, Haney's starting to. He's already good as far as his business and his promotion goes, but he's starting to excel, especially with Ryan Garcia having to take a break with his mental health stuff. You know, Devin's kind of starting to rise in those ranks as far as popularity, so that could be a good fight. But I know Mayweather was talking about they only doing in-house right now. They got enough people over there, so Rolly's probably the best option, or as far as undefeated and everything else. Being honest, man, I just like to see these young guys fight. You know, I know Tank's a little older than the rest of them, but he's like in between those different generations, I'll say. You know what I'm saying? From the Thurman and the Spence to the Shakurs and the Haneys that you have now. So, I mean, I like to see the young cats get it in. I might be the only one, but, you know, undefeated records just ain't as important to me as, I guess, as they are the rest of the world. I mean, look at Ugas. This dude had 4 losses and just beat Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying, to retain his WBA belt. So I don't like focusing on the loss as much as I do the fight. Also, shout out to Jake Donovan for coming on and giving a great interview, man. I always appreciate kind of being able to have my ear to the pulse with TPV. So shout out to y'all for that. Got to get back to work, though, fellas. As I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast, because this is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, that's because you're a pendejo. Shout out to El Camino. Hey, I'm going to be working, so if J Mac or JT is on here, give one of those my boomerang, all right?
All right.
they gonna have to send their best fighter for the champ.
Let's go, Champy.
Yo, look at this video of Shannon. All that shit he used to talk, and he ain't do nothing right here. Yo, why he go ham?
I ain't see it yet though.
Why he go ham on a table and all the dishes instead of hooking off on Vlad for pouring water on him?
Yo, because in the back of his mind, he was still sane. You know what I'm saying? He would have screwed everything up.
Bruh, look at him. Like, he pours water, he starts hitting the dishes. Like, champ,
Yo,
and then
he was
falls.
drowning
Look,
the
then
champ
he
with
falls.
a
Look, he
16-ounce
falls.
cup of water.
Look, he falls. He fell with a little bit of water. Come on, champ. You
The
ain't
champ,
really
look,
want
the
that
champ
fight.
was drowning.
He didn't really want that fight, man.
He was drowning,
Yo,
yo.
he looks so much smaller. He looks so much smaller in that video too. Like, what the fuck?
Look younger.
He looked tiny as hell. Like, Shannon Briggs, aka Tiny Tim, man.
Vlad way taller than
That was hilarious.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Let me get to Caesar. Oh, hell. Caesar! All right, we're going to New York City. Maldonado.
Alde.
What he done to the boxing world to be number one in the junior weight division.
David.
Yo, you hear me? Yo.
You there,
Yo.
We hear you, bro. Relax.
Hold on. I'm on the road right now, headed to the beach. What's good? You hear me?
We hear you, fams. We hear you.
He on the way to the beach.
Yo, yeah, I'm going to Long Branch, man. You know where that's at, right?
Yep.
Yo, so is Tank gonna fight Rolly?
I mean, that seems to be like one of the options that is most viable right now from the discussions we've had this morning.
Well, if his next fight is going to be on pay-per-view, and if it's going to be at 135, and if we talk about the most realistic fights, I think Rolly is the best one for him, even though I think it will be a bigger fight if Rolly had a better win under his belt. But Rolly's going to sell the shit out of that fight. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if it's pay-per-view, the best and the most realistic option for pay-per-view is Rolly or Mikey Garcia. And if it's going to be Showtime, then it's going to be either Isaac Cruz or Hammer and Hank London. Those are the options.
Who did you say?
I said if it's on pay-per-view, the options for the poll is Rolly or Mikey Garcia, because that's the most realistic. If it's 135.
Mikey ain't going down to 135. How you going to call that realistic when that man ain't been at 135 in like 4 years? But you saying that's realistic.
Okay, well, Mikey's done business with
when the last time he been at 135, man?
All right, they could do it at 140 then. They could do it at 140. Why not?
So Tank,
if not,
so
right,
Tank gonna have the greatest fight of his career outside his natural weight. Who the A-side, man? Tank or Mikey, man?
He got to fight Regis. He's gonna stay at 140.
Right now, Tank is the A-side.
Exactly. So if you the A-side, why would your promoter make you fight the toughest fight of your career versus a bigger man that's naturally bigger than you?
All right, then Rolly. If it's pay-per-view, it's going to be Rolly.
Oh, they said Hank Lundy. Give my man Hank the fight, man. Coming to a TV near you.
That's right. Hammer and Hank, believe it or not, Hammer and Hank Lundy would sell the shit out that fight, man.
Sell the shit out
I'm not saying he'll win.
And that'll be his first slick black fighter, too.
I remember he smacked Crawford. Didn't he smack Crawford in the face or some shit like that?
Whoa. I don't know about all that now. You out here
Oh, he
tripping.
pushed him. He pushed him. He did something. I remember Crawford beat the shit out of him.
I don't know about all that now. You tripping. But
I'm telling you.
He did say some stuff about his lady, man. He said some stuff about his lady. That's what it was. But let me get to some other people. I got a counterpunch here from Stainless.
Counterpunch.
Stainless.
Yo, I was gonna ask. Didn't Rolly retire though?
Nah.
Y'all really believe that?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a silly question, but I could have sworn my man just retired like week before last or something.
Nah.
So, is he a real option if he gonna retire again? Is he gonna have the same mental health issues Ryan having? Like, is something else gonna come up? I guess that has to be a part of this equation too. Is that person really gonna fight them, or are they gonna go into early retirement or take a sabbatical or whatever, like some people have been doing this year? That's all I got though.
That's it. That's all. We going out to, it looks like our first super chat of the day. Thank you, Jaime Nieto. Thank you.
Let's go.
I'm going to use that to send a coffee to Alex. He'll only get half of it because you're the only super chat, but thank you.
And we had another super chat actually from Mr. Steve Munoz.
Oh, really? Steve?
That's right. That's right. You think Plant went to Jake's appreciation night too?
So basically, you saying Jake is only lying for Plant because they got a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you're insinuating that I am capping for Plant because he went to my appreciation night.
No.
All right.
Jaime Nieto said, I agree with Stainless. I don't care about undefeated. I want to see the best fight the best.
So who's
when
that?
you fight the elite competition, you may take a loss.
Who's got a loss? Who's he saying?
Well, he says that he agreed with Stainless. I don't care about undefeated. I want to see the best fight the best. So when you fight the elite competition, you may take a loss.
I don't know what fighter Stainless recommended that wasn't undefeated.
Well, he came on here actually worried about Rolando's retirement, and then
so far more people want Devin Haney on our poll, which is a good fight. I don't know why Showtime. See, I was gonna ask Steven that. We were supposed to have Steven on the show, but obviously he's busy with his Jake Paul stuff, so they said after the fight.
Can I say why I was swayed into, and I'm gonna say it on live. I picked Rolando Romero, right, as the next fight, but I honestly speaking, I would like to see Devin Haney, right? But why didn't I pick Devin Haney? I mean, I was kind of influenced by the landscape, you know. I don't think that Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis can really happen next.
Well, he's a free agent. If it ever can happen, is now.
Okay. So why doesn't this fight happen with Devin Haney? Why doesn't it?
I don't know. I text Bill. I want to get him on because Romero is out here in the media saying that Bill and Devin want $5 million to $8 million to fight Romero. So if that's the truth, then you know, you gotta assume you can never get a Tank fight because if you want $8 million to fight Romero, who isn't even half of Tank, like what the freak?
Can you outprice yourself?
Of course.
And do it, I guess, because you that's your game plan. You want to outprice yourself for Romero and wait for a Gervonta Davis fight or the opportunity to be able to negotiate that fight. I don't know because I like Romero.
I mean, look, if you want a Tank fight, you know you're better off going to sit down with Al. If you want a Tank fight, you probably right now it's probably your best option to getting it by signing with them. I'm not saying you got to sign to get a Tank fight.
Can you sign a 3-fight deal?
That's what I'm saying. As a free agent right now, you have more negotiation power to sit down with Al and say, yeah, I just want the Tank fight. Well, you know, we'll give you XXX and then Tank. And you're like, okay. But just to come there and say, I want a one-off Tank fight is like, you already seen what happened with Canelo trying to get a one-off with Plant.
Does it have to be 3? Can we do it 2?
I mean, maybe. Is you worth what you can negotiate. If Devin and Bill could sit down and you know, negotiate a 2-fight deal, Romero and Tank, that would be great, but that puts him in too much of a power position. Even if I did that, I gotta have last match right option or option. I gotta have last match right or at least an option on your fight. I can't. How the fuck I'm gonna give you two great names? Those would be the two greatest names of your career, and you want a 2-fight deal? No, that's not even good business. I'm about to take you to the next level. You about to fight Mayweather's protege. Mayweather's gonna be at that fight. That's gonna be the biggest ticket sold fight you've ever been, the most watched fight you've ever had, and then you telling me that's it? You walk away?
Yeah, especially if the promoter believes that he has a shot at taking the the titles from Gervonta Davis. I see where the business side of it comes in.
I mean, listen, he can get knocked out or he can outbox you. It's that simple. Based off what we know, that's how Al and Floyd got to be looking at it. Like, he could outbox Gervonta or Gervonta can knock him out. Because if you let 30-something-year-old Linares hurt you, and look, the game or the knock or the troll on Haney is he held for 3 rounds.
So let's pretend here to paint the landscape for what could be that 3-fight deal, and ultimately their fight with Gervonta Davis as a 3rd fight. We got Rolando Romero that he could probably get now, right? So you got Rolando and Gervonta Davis. So who's before Gervonta Davis?
You could do Isaac Cruz because, like, they trying to build Isaac Cruz. They want to build Isaac Gonzalez Cruz for Tank. What better way than to build him than to make Devin go through him to get to Tank? So it could be like Rolly first for Devin to introduce you to Showtime audience. Isaac next for Devin to build the next opponent for Gervonta, because they look at it like this. If he gets past Isaac, well, then we're facing a slick black fighter, what people thought we wouldn't do. If he doesn't get past Isaac, well, then we're facing the green print, the tough Mexican that just destroyed the biggest name on his resume. So, that's beautiful. But that's a perfect world, man. I think it's very feasible, though. I think that William Haney could sit down, without a doubt, with Floyd or Al and say, I would like a 3-fight deal. They could start at a 1. They could try to be bosses and do 1 and see does anyone bite, but it's not a smart business move. It's not a smart business move, you know what I mean? You make more money with a lease than a finance, right?
Yeah, you're right. Damn, so that's the landscape, dude. I mean, there's a couple of free agents, but we want Gervonta to stay at the 135. Reggie's a free agent. I guess the free agents are the fighters that you can kind of like negotiate more, and you don't have to worry about.
Regis, Mikey's, he's like, he got a last match, right? So this is what Eddie's doing. They're trying to get him a fight, which is like around the corner. Are they gonna do it or what? They were saying September 18th. We don't have no big name on September 18th outside of like Border Wars, and I think that's it. I don't know anything else that's happening on September 18th. It was the Canelo date. It didn't happen. Hawk in Maryland, what up?
Hawking them down.
Yo, what's up, TBV?
Good morning.
Cheers.
It is radio. Yo, what's going on, TBV? How you doing today, fellas?
All good. And yourself?
Blessed, brother.
Oh, y'all got me. You know what? It's a quiet space when you don't say anything. I think that's why everybody be like, do you hear me? It's a real quiet space where you don't hear nothing. But Tank and Rolly, I don't know, I see maybe Haney, but Rolly ain't got enough name. Rolly only known to other fight fans. He ain't even known to all the fight fans, really. So I don't know how that's gonna work on no pay-per-view. Cause he ain't nobody. But I know that I saw yesterday when he had 2 days ago I saw with a truck riding around in Atlanta saying Gervonta Davis owes $40,000 on a car to some car dealer, and then you had Charlo brother get locked up for taking some girl's tip thing out of her thing, getting his ID out because he didn't want to pay a check.
Where you
wow, they really ain't. Man? They really
Where you hearing this tabloid stuff at, man?
Charlo got locked up yesterday.
Where did you hear these tabloid
on all of this. It's all over. Charlo got a lot of things got to pay for tape. He didn't have enough to pay his food bill.
Where did you hear these allegations?
On all of the other boxing sites.
Where
got
is the
locked up
first
yesterday.
site? Where is the first site that you heard it? Don't be afraid.
Okay. What's that dude? Ring. He be on your show.
Ring IQ.
Ring
IQ.
Ring IQ.
And
right.
What did he say? And what did he say?
He said Charlo's stealing continental breakfasts. That's one he put out. But all of them got different things.
He had to
turn himself in yesterday for something happened about a month ago when he was with a group of people. He didn't have enough money to pay the bill, so he started. They got it on film. It's all on tape. The police got the video out and everything. So.
All right.
Yeah, and I actually saw the truck with Gervonta's name on the side. I saw that.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and read. I'm gonna go ahead and read the official report.
Lawyer statement.
Oh, you got it. Pull it up, sir. Because I don't do tabloids, and I damn sure don't do shows like because you got arrested. You know what I'm saying?
Now, a quick question. That tweet was on Jamal's page, right?
What?
That tweet with the lawyer, was that the lawyer that sent out the that tweet?
Yeah, that's information that was released from the lawyer. Addressing the article and the writer, the website that wrote the article. Because everyone is like, you late. No, I'm not late. It just doesn't make any sense to me that Jamal Charlo needs to steal tips from a waitress. And that's what you get. You get this propaganda. Look at how Hawk called in Maryland and says, he stole the continental breakfast. This is what you get from these people that are reporting. They need to sensationalize their headlines in order to get these views.
That's sad.
You know? They can't just report on what's being said in the official police report. You know? They have to go ahead and now say he's stealing continental breakfast.
That was fucking shit. Yo, come on. You see my man's crib?
You know?
Yeah, my boy eats beluga caviar. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to. You know
these dudes are just, they corny, man. It's like a lot of dudes, look, I don't eat off YouTube, man. That's not my main source of income. So, you don't see me chasing views. If I chase views, you would see my headlines be way crazier. You would see me talk about every single fight of a fucking
Yo,
releases.
se tiró un peo.
Exactly. That's not what I do, man. That shit is retarded, man.
I got it up if you want me to read it.
Yes,
Chad.
read it, please.
Okay, and this is, again, right, Jamal's lawyer explaining what happened, right? Obviously, there's going to be other people, trying to write about their take and their opinions on it, but this is coming from his lawyer, and it states, Jamal Charlo's attorney, Kent A. Schaefer, said via email Wednesday afternoon that his client did not take any property belonging to anyone else. Quote, I represent Jamal Charlo, and I just saw your story regarding his case. And this is him reaching out to another person that had posted out information and opinions and I guess whatever he thought or she thought had happened. So this is him addressing that person. I represent Jamal Charlo, and I just saw your story regarding his case. I want to make it clear that Jamal stole no money from anyone at the club and made no threats towards anyone. When they ran his card, it was declined. And then he received a fraud alert from Chase Bank asking if he had made the charge. I get those all the time when I travel too, bro.
Especially when you're out of state or you make a large purchase.
Yep,
But,
and I get it.
Some people have never made a large purchase. Some people don't know what it is to charge $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. That's not a charge we make on a daily. We sit down with our significant other and say, damn, we got to spend $5,000 on this new boiler and installation. We could put it on our credit card, but we got to pay a month. It's different when a dude is swiping. You understand? When you're accustomed to swiping thousands. Like, this is what I'm saying. People try to sensationalize this, make it worse than it is, to belittle him as if they're on his level, as if they're on his tax bracket.
And I'll be honest with you, when that's happened to me sometimes,
You're
I'm not all the
frustrated.
time. Yeah, and sometimes I may have my phone on silent, whatever, and I might not even know, and I'll be
Bank of
talking to the
America
teller,
is the
discussing
worst.
it. Yeah, I'll even be talking to the person I'm doing the transaction, and I'm like, what's wrong? Like, my card is good, like what? And I won't know unless I look at my phone, So that's telling a little bit, I guess, that a situation probably could have arose from
Bank
that.
of America is notorious for that. Okay, when I was a truck driver, I would always look to buy my Newports in a different state because they're always cheaper than New Jersey.
I cannot believe you smoke cigarettes, bro.
Many moons ago, many moons ago, these lungs haven't had a taste of nicotine and
cyanide and all the other shit.
It may be over a decade, hopefully, I think, or very close. That being said, PA was notorious for hitting me with the fraud alert. Like, yo, Bank of America with the text, like, bruh, is this you? Yes, it's me. Okay, recharge. Sometimes you go to recharge it and they run it and they still get another decline. Now you on the phone with your bank and you mad as hell. So I can see all that happening. I can see that happening.
I can see a little frustration.
The statement says that the waitress comes back and doesn't know where his card is.
Well, let me finish reading it. It says, and where I left off, right? When they ran his card, it was declined and then received a fraud alert from Chase Bank asking if he had made the charge. He responded yes, and they told him to have the charge submitted again. The waitress went to run it again, and it came back saying she could not find the card. Jamal was upset that his card was missing since it was a debit card tied to an account with a substantial amount of money. The waitress had his license sticking out of the portfolio, and he took his license back saying that he didn't want her to lose that too. So if y'all know what we're talking about, the little black book that the waitress comes to you, you got your little slot where you put your card. That's what that was. And he took his license back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
which he's entitled to. When have you gone to a restaurant and you can't get your ID back?
Like, what, you're gonna keep my ID? Like,
no, because again, people want to look at this as some sort of crime. Oh, he's a criminal. He stole her tips.
How am I gonna steal my license back? All right, let me finish this up. Okay,
meanwhile, the lawyer tells you that the waitress did not want to press charges, and like every state, the state picked up the charges. You understand why? Because why not get another man? It don't even matter the color. Get another man in the system, paying the system the fines that it keeps for the system to keep going. You have to arrest people in order for that system to work.
And that system is the beast, and the jail is the belly. So he goes on to say, by this time, right, many club employees were gathering in the hallway, so Jamal's handlers wanted to get him out of the club before trouble started, and a club employee walked Jamal out to his car. Hours later,
club employee. So now the club employee lets him exit, but somehow he stole money. Come on, man.
Good point. Hours later, Jamal's assistant made contact with the club to give them another credit card number, but the club refused to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So
because for the club now, right? The club employee in the incident report, he made the mistake of allowing Charlo to leave. He made the mistake to walk him out without collecting the money or a second form of payment. So now he's in trouble and he's got to pay that bill. So they got to shift the blame. So now it's Charlo's fault. And as the club employer, what do? This is free publicity. Why accept a credit card and no one finds out? Why not decline a credit card and everybody's writing about your club and the fact that Charlo stole from someone in this club? Everybody's Googling. Everybody want to know where is that? Where was Charlo at? What did he steal? What's the name of the club? This is all strategic.
How do you even talk about continental breakfast? Like, yo, Hawk, where'd you get that one
No,
from?
Hawk got that from another YouTuber because that's,
He
again.
said continental breakfast.
Again,
y'all are crazy, man.
We gotta be entertaining. I get it, but
so
you
lawyer finishes the statement by saying, over the last few weeks, we have talked to the police, prosecutors, and the club owner, and although the club owner expressed his desire to drop the charges, the officer insisted on filing charges to try to embarrass Jamal.
Of course.
At no time did he rob anyone or take any property other than his own, which is his license. Like, give my license back, champ. Fuck out of here.
I'm talking like I'm there because I can comprehend the report. People that can't comprehend English, they're not understanding. So they can't talk like they're there. They can't talk confidently. And plus, you never been through shit. Like I said, not everybody charges what these people are charging. That's not a thing
bro,
that we do.
These people get out of pocket at the spot, man. Remember when we was in Las Vegas with my man El Camino?
Mm-hmm.
And old dude tried to get what's that? Grab the was it an L? Yeah, he grabbed and then you just grabbed it right back. Yo, sometimes they out of pocket, man. They out of pocket. And I could understand where like a little tiny situation might have occurred, right? I'm arguing with you. Let's say I'm Charlo, right? And this is speculation, people. I'm thinking like, damn, I just charged my card. Now they coming back talking about it's decline. Well, I got bank. What you mean it's decline? Nah, do it again. I understand where something could have gone in there. Do it. And if I'm Charlo and I'm not seeing my alerts go off, I'm just kind of like, damn, what the fuck's going on? I got money in there. Charge it again. And all of a sudden then the card is lost. Like, I don't get that. Yeah, I don't get none of that. It's strange. Bruh, I got mad money. I'm gonna steal it. Nah, chill, champ. Like, this is all bogus, bro. And again, man, it's shameful for for any media out there that's just trying to get views and was quick to put my mans in them out there that.
I'm not. Look, everybody's entitled to do what they want, man. It ain't shameful because
it's shameful when you put
TMZ does
and you're like, yo, he stole Continental Burger. Like, come on, dog.
Again, we don't know if that's in the title, man. You getting that's second party information. You getting that from Hawk.
Right. I don't
that could have been said. That could have been said during his broadcast, and again, it could have been a joke, a play on words to be entertaining. You got to deliver the news, but what's my man Ron Burgundy, right? Like.
Ron Burgundy.
You can deliver the news or you can be Ron Burgundy, man. You can be entertaining, right? Like, that's how Howard made a living. Getting back to the topic, I don't know why I can't pull up my personal account on my desktop right now, which sucks. But I can do it through the phone and share. So I follow Danny Garcia for years, and obviously I know his team. So Matt, right? Matt that helped us get sponsored for the appreciation.
Yeah.
So I follow Matt. Fuck, I gotta take this.
Matt's a great person, man. Matt's a great person. But just segueing right back real quick while the Skip handles something. Talking about the media, and I get it. You probably didn't put that in the title. But we're always quick to put into light, any little situations that might be in the negative, or might not be in the best light of our fighters. It's not cool. Listen, if he would have done something crazy and it was true, yeah, it is what it is. But don't believe everything until real statements come out. And even if Charlo decides to speak on it, which probably his lawyer advised him not to, but it's bullshit. The man got money. He don't need to steal nobody. He don't need to do nothing. The man's paid, and I think this is just a bogus situation that might have happened. And when you got drinks involved and all this other shit, the ambience and everything, things could get a little tense or whatnot. But anyway, talking about back to the Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero fight that could happen. Going over it with Ness, as y'all heard, I think that Rolando Romero is probably the best bet next for him. Rolando Romero's out there talking about he retired. Don't believe the hype. The man ain't retired. He's just staying out there talking his talk and staying relevant, right? Because when you're out there talking, you're gonna be relevant. You know, some guys could take hiatuses and they'll still be relevant because they're out there still talking, staying in front of the camera. And he's playing the bad guy role, man. That's what it is. Now, Gervonta Davis, if he's looking to stay at the 140-pound division, the 135-pound division, you guys already know what you're getting, right? We went over the whole landscape of what could happen, what may happen. 1 segundo. Who's this? Okay, that was Brandon hitting me up. Yeah, guys. So, you know, if I had control over the telephonos, I probably would have went over to one of you guys. But, you know, the Skip has the levers on his side of the fence. And you always got to have proof, you know. You always got to have proof. I'm pretty sure there was cameras out there for, you know, the Charlo incident. It's a good point. And it's only a matter of time before, you know, everything gets, you know, truthfully spoken on that situation. Gervonta Davis again, man. I gotta say, man, Rolando Romero is the guy that I am picking as a probable next fight. Can't say that enough. I think that PBC side, having everything on that side, that fight could happen. But I mean, isn't it essentially if you put Rolando Romero into that fight, isn't that essentially like cashing him out in a sense? You know, you got a guy that right now is making a name for himself. He's the bad guy. He's the Roberto Duran. This era's Roberto Duran, self-proclaimed. Is that the guy you want to cash out immediately? You know, put him up against Gervonta. Obviously, Gervonta's the favorite, so it's like, does that happen? You know,
So I'm back. I'm back with my real long, corny analogy story. To the Charlo thing, right? Because I follow a friend of Danny's, and you know, he's not a fighter. You know, he's like a registered nurse or something. And he was at the Pacquiao fight this weekend, and you know, he posted on his Instagram that he was having sushi, and you know, all the dishes. So when I get to the last post, he has the receipt, which is kind of comparable to the conversation, you know, because Charlo was out with his friends, you know. And again, it's just so that we can see the differences in tax brackets. So Matt posts, right, let me show my boy Matt. You should follow him on Instagram.
Shout out to Matt, yo.
This is Matt right here, you know.
Matt 215.
Here is Matt having dinner, and he says dinner with the family last night. Obviously, it's in Vegas, you know. And you know, he's showing you little chopsticks, all the little sushi. This is some sashimi right here, you know. Oysters,
sashimi?
you know, you got some oysters right here. Oh, sorry about that. All this beautifulness, right? So when you keep going, he's got that. And I'm like, whoa. I don't think I've ever had a $762 meal plus my tip on the lowest chip, 18%, would be $126. And I'm like, wow, that was some expensive sushi. Now, this is just Matt, a friend of Danny who's a registered nurse. Imagine the amount of Charlo's receipt could have been that night and why the card would probably decline for such a big bill, you know, because they're right away, they're thinking someone stole your credit card and they're trying to withdraw a bunch of money from your account. It's how Chase and Bank of America are thinking. So I just wanted to bring it back full circle. You know, it's very relative. Like, I'm not spending $700. So imagine that bill coming at $7,000. That ain't my bill. So I can't feel the way Charlo's gonna feel. You understand what I'm saying? People putting themselves in his shoes. They're, oh, he's stealing continental breakfast. He's doing that. He's doing this. And it's like, bro, you're not on that tax bracket. You don't have that much money in the bank account. You can't have the fear that he has if a waitress comes back and tells you that your checking account debit card is missing. in a nightclub. No, I'm not going to react the way that you're going to react because you might not even have $1,000 in your bank account. You might be living check to check like many of us do. That's what
money's
minorities
protected
are.
by the banks.
No, it's
I
just
mean,
it's very I don't understand.
Money's protected by the banks and all that, but like, you know, in the moment, you know, you're not thinking about all that. You're thinking about
even money being protected by the bank. You got to spend
account.
your time though. It's not like, oh, your money's protected by the bank and you ain't got to call and you ain't got to make a complaint and be on their hours explaining and showing the proof. Like it's not, oh, your money's protected. Like, hey, you wake up and 7,000 is missing out your account or 70,000 and you don't have to go through the necessary protocol. Absolutely not. Your time will be wasted. Whatever you had to do that day, you can't do because you got to get that money back.
And that doesn't make anything feel better just because your money's protected. Obviously, that's a bank, according to the banks or whatnot. I forgot what FBA or FD, whatever. One of the acronyms.
Look at Best Dad Ever. He says, my highest was $650 after taxes at a Brazilian steakhouse. Bank instantly sent a notification about fraud. But that's what I'm saying. Most of us have gotten that on a lower level, you know, without spending $650. I told you I tried to buy a carton of cigarettes and got a fraud alert from PA, and my bank called me.
Yo, why you buying cartons of PA, champ?
He tried to spend $650 and got that. Imagine what Charlo's bill was. Imagine, you know.
Yeah.
So when they get a bank fraud, people like, oh, he's broke. He couldn't pay his bill. It's like, bro, you never been through anything, and why are we talking to you? Like, you never been through it.
Go
He's
that
broke.
way.
The dude with the DeLorean in his living room is broke. It's not more probable that the charge was so substantial that his bank wanted to make sure it was him using it. No, that's not probable. That's not logical. I can't deal with these guys, man. But I love being the guy to give you the truth, man. It's just, it's hilarious. The hatred, I don't understand. How miserable am I that I need you to have been a thief and get arrested?
Yeah.
That's what I want for you. I'm not happy with you just fighting Canelo. I need you to have been the guy that's capable of stealing alleged tips from a waitress. That's what I need
that
you
shit
to be.
Don't even sound right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Payday. You want payday. I know that.
You wanted payday?
Bro, it's
Yo,
crazy,
chill,
bro.
champ.
It's so sad.
Crazy.
It's so sad like that people, the misery in this world that needs so much company. It's like, that's what you think of Jamal Charlo. That he needs to steal tips from a waitress out of her hand.
Yeah, funny. You know what I thought? The only thing I could have thought about was like, you know, his card could decline and maybe somebody said some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time I would turn up. Like, what you mean? Man, look at him. He broke his head. Man, I would have said something. You know, like I'm trying to see what could have happened, right, to make that situation escalate like that. I guess coming back without my credit card is enough. You know, like, where is my credit card? Or did they try to keep his credit card because it wasn't going through, you know, and there was some, like, you know, like tension. Like, I don't know. But one thing I can almost be sure about is that my man Jamal do not need to be stealing money, especially no tips from somebody's waitress jar or purse or however they do it at that spot. You don't need that. So, you know, I think that this is just a big ass misunderstanding, and nobody should go crazy with this stuff, man. It was crazy seeing him like that with the little mug shot and shit. He looked heavier too, man. He looked like he put on some weight on the face at least. But yeah, champion, that's what it was. What are you gonna do? All I gotta say is one thing.
So look. Charlo was arrested after the cops say the boxing superstar melted down at the bar and stole money from a waitress. So that's what I'm saying. Did he steal money or did he snatch back his ID? Did he melt down or was he frustrated that his $1 million checking account, the only debit card, is now lost by a alleged waitress who says, this checking account with a substantial amount of money can't cover the bill? Because that's what he's receiving. your card is declined. He's like, man, come on, man. I'm a millionaire. Run that shit.
Run that shit
Yo,
again.
your card's declined again. Bro, I'm a millionaire. Run that shit. Yo, your card declined. Okay, give me my card. I lost your card. What?
Simple as that right there. What?
That's it. But y'all
And
never
it's
been
like,
through
and
nothing.
it's like, if you're telling me you lost my card, how do you lose a card? I just gave it to you. You left with it.
You
like,
just ran it 3 times, but you
like
lost
how you
it
lose
now.
my card, bro? Like, get out of here. And yo, not for nothing. That's even when I was working down in South Jersey as a recent, I would actually have that situation happen with certain customers, and they would automatically be dumbfounded, like, no, man, but I have money. And I could count maybe like dozen times, bro, where I would tell them, just check your phone right now. They probably sent you an alert, and boom, it was right there. So sometimes, bro, that could happen to you, and if you're not privy to, like, you know, those texts coming in, or you're not paying attention, or you're silent, whatever, you're gonna be frustrated because you're gonna sit there and go back and forth with whoever you're you know, purchasing or doing the transaction with, because you're like, I got money in there. And it's happened to me. It's happened to me when I go. I've gotten Western Unions, and you know, they tell me, no, your card here. I'm like, but I got money in this
so
card.
sad,
And it's
man.
like,
It's so sad. This is what I'm saying, you know. Look at this super chat. Oh, Jamal Charlo's obliterated in that mugshot. And the fact that he got a mugshot for this is just the saddest thing in the world. You know what I mean? It's
bro,
just,
so you trying to say they printed him?
yeah, he got arrested. He had to turn himself in because they
Wow.
left. They left, and the charges were filed because of the police officer. So he had to turn himself
I'll be
in.
honest with you, like, for the state to pick this up, this
No,
is like
Texas
I've seen
Commonwealth, too.
hold on this. I've seen the state pick up real shit that they should pick up, right?
State
like
picks up everything, though, bro. State
no,
picks
not
up
everything,
everything, man.
They're not picking up everything. Like let's say that you have a domestic dispute, and you know, the girl, you know, gets hurt, and then she doesn't want to press charges. Then I see, okay, the state picks it up. Hell yeah, pick that shit up. You know, she's in fear. Fuck that dude. You know, pick it up. What the fuck are you picking up right now? What are you gonna gain?
There must be video. There must be video. The exit from the facility could be aggressive based off the police report. Obviously, the police, I'm never on this side. They're always going to sensationalize their police report. They're always going to make it sound more indicting than the truth. You know? So, but there is something in the police report that says someone was stepped on as they exited.
Yeah, somebody got stepped on.
So obviously, when you're dealing with assault or battery, whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor, that changes based off the level of injury. So you know, it depends if the victim was really hurt. Did the ambulance?
The club owner doesn't want to press charges.
Allegedly.
So I mean, unless the girl is pressing charges, you know, or
well,
the person
it does
that gets stepped on.
It does say that it was a female or the waitress that got stepped on or something like that.
Yeah, that's all. See, that all falls into, you know, video and witnesses and.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it's a club. There's gonna be video.
And I'm pretty sure unless he stepped on her, you know, like, how are you gonna pin that on him, you know?
No, you're right. You're right. But someone will have to come forward.
Somebody will come forward. So, yeah, guys, get it out of your heads. You know, the man just had a situation with his card that turned into something that didn't even need to happen, obviously. So, you know, hopefully everything turns out fine for Jamal, you know. It's not cool, you know, and I'm pretty sure he's not in any way happy about this, you know. This is upsetting, like a mother fudger, you know. Sure. And depending on when it happened, I mean, were they probably, you know, guy was probably just celebrating with the fellas, having fun. You know, you just never know when you're gonna get into some shit, man. And you got to be careful out there, especially if you're a top star like Jamal. Yeah, man. Sometimes it's just fucking better to just keep it at the crib. Word up. But I had a question for you, Ness.
Yeah.
Who's next?
It's actually I checked. This is Antonio in Albany. Antonio. My name is
Yo, what's good, man?
Banderas, Carreras. Remember that?
Yo. So, real quick, man. Yo, I just want to say this real quick, man, for everybody. There's always going to be haters in this world, no matter how long we on this earth. So I suggest just move on. Don't worry about the negative. Don't talk negative, and just try to be great. But other than that, listen, I got Jake Paul knocking Wooly out. Easy work on Sunday. And I got Amanda Serrano beating whoever she beating. And other than that, man, what's his name? Davis, man. Yo, how about Arnold Barbosa? Is he with Top Rank?
He is.
He fought last weekend, man. I wouldn't mind him seeing, or Regis Prograis. I don't know about him, man. I don't know if he still got something going on with Mikey Garcia. But other than that, man, they got a couple of fights for Davis that he could fight, man. I don't mind what's his name?
Regis Prograis is at a higher weight, champ. That's what I'm saying. We gotta wait to see where he decide. But anybody that's wishing for Tank to go to 140, I just think y'all wrong.
When you see old dirty bastard form a position like that, then you know that I'm getting ready to bust your.
Yo, next. Yo, y'all hear me? Peace. Listen, man. Yo, fuck fake America. The people that work in there, scammers, they always got some drama. That's why I left them, man. Yo, this Charlo shit fake news, man. Let's go to the real meat and potatoes of this, y'all. Let's get hungry, you heard? What's up with the WBA changing all the interim? That is big news. That means all the fights that we wanted to get, we gonna get. You heard? Dave DeVore, WBA, who he fighting? Rolly and Tank, that's a fight. And like we always say, Ness, yo, how you know somebody nice if they ain't fighting? Come on, man. Put your shoes on, put your socks on, put your shirt and pants and walk out the door. You know what I mean? And yo, Ness, you still fucked up that Manny laws like other callers. You still can't believe it. Guys beat him. Keep it real, brother. You still can't believe it. But look, it's all gonna get in the mixture, man. We could get guys and Bud. We could get I love Thurman, but nah, man, he ain't fighting nobody, man. I'm not feeling him right now, man. I'm not feeling him, y'all. But listen, man, we could get what about Oogie and what about Oogie and Bruce Ennis? Whoever's the interim at WBA, they gonna get this shit on, y'all. This is great for boxing. I'm happy about it, cause now all this interim title shit, gold belt is out the door. Let's go. Let's get these fights. Rolly won.
I mean, gold belt ain't out the door. That's just the interim. Gold is going to be treated as a regional according to the WBA. We're going to have the president on tonight. Mendoza, Gilberto Mendoza be on tonight. 7 p.m. Line 6 Reed, what up?
Hey, man, I heard my man King Bond say that boy Boost. Hey, shout out to King Bond for showing that man Boost that type of love. That's what we need. Hey, first and foremost, I was thinking this. Who is Rashidi Ellis signed with?
Ellis Rashidi is signed with Golden Boy.
Golden.
And they not paying for no fights.
Okay,
they didn't even
so-
want to pay for the they didn't even want to pay for the Luis Collazo fight.
Oh, I was going to say, man, I think him and Boots, that would be a good matchup for people
Boots
to see
on
that Boots is really
Showtime,
that dude.
homie.
You know what I'm saying?
Boots on Showtime. He'll
I
never
know.
fight over there.
Yeah, man, but I'm telling you, man, when Boots smoked that dude, people will recognize, like, hey, Boots is really that dude. But, hey, King Bond, if you're listening, shout out to you. If you want to come back on, message Ness, and I'll pay for your counterpunch, my brother. Appreciate the love for Boots. Take it easy. That's my call.
Let me see what this betting line is. Have things changed? When time is the weigh-ins? That's what, like a Saturday, right? Because this fight is on Sunday.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Man. My bookie, what's the odds looking like? Have they changed it?
Bro said that Willie getting KO'd. That's crazy, man. Yo,
bro, Willie's mad small, bro. Willie's mad small. Like I told you, I went to the camp. He's mad small. You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn, bro. It's gonna happen, dog.
And he 39.
Jake's out here KOing MMA cats.
And he 39. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot to prove and to do. Jake bigger. Jake been working too, yo. Jake been working, man. Like, I think this is gonna be a big fight because it's gonna put him on. So right now, Woodley's a plus 155. Oh wow. Over 3.5 is plus 100. Under 3.5. So they thinking Jake gonna get that man up out of there in 3 rounds or better.
It's an 8-rounder.
Bro, they still, the money's on Jake sleeping him inside of 3.
Then Vegas knows more than us.
Wow. Damn, there's 12 prop bets for this shit already. Lord.
Jake Paul, bro, out here freaking doing it. Knocking out small MMA dudes. Tommy Fury's next. I mean, that's going to be it right there.
Oh,
he
wow. Look,
Tommy
you
Fury.
can,
He's on his way.
If you think it's going to end in the first round, that's 450. It don't even matter who wins. You just think it's going to end in the first round. Second round, plus 400. Third round, plus 450. Fourth round, plus 550.
So it's more of money you get if the fight drags on?
Of course. They know he's not he just turned pro. They know he ain't going to knock you out late. If he going to get you out, his power is early, just like every fighter. You have less power. That's why when people can knock you out in the 12, it's like, oh, shit. He still knocked you out in the 12. His power carries. His power lasted. That's important. People dump their energy early.
One thing that I do give Jake Paul is that he has good range, believe it or not. That's one thing that I really like about him and this whole boxing thing, that he's shown good range. And he's able to counter guys coming in. I mean, he put your mans in Nate Robinson in the Pacquiao plank position by stepping back and throwing an overhand right. So the dude, can probably knock. Damn, yo, it's crazy.
This is actually a good group bet. Yo, if you're gonna make a bet, don't forget to use mybookie.ag and get the code BETTBV. Listen, yo, this is your segment of Beating the Odds with TBV. Right now, if you go on mybookie.ag, they got group rounds plus money for Jake. 1 through 2, 275. I think it's going to go longer than that. I like 3 through 4 at plus 350.
Shit.
That sounds right. $100 gets you $450 back. $10 gets you $45 back. Bro.
Yo, why is it that I don't got?
What?
Where's Jake Paul at? I'm on DraftKings right now. I can't see the fight.
Nah, man, we don't fuck with DraftKings, man.
I know, dog. I gotta make that my bookie
you
account.
can use it anywhere in the world. You could just go to MyBookie. You don't need an account. Just go. MyBookie.ag. You're so weird sometimes.
Wow.
This guy is
So
weird,
okay,
guys.
MyBookie.ag.
This guy is weird.
Call me weird, but I'm on top of it.
What does this mean? Wager cutoff. Yes, 5 plus 500. No. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. My bookie. Okay, maybe
MyBookie.ag, not .com. .ag. MyBookie.ag.
But I landed on a page that does not say MyBookie on there.
MyBookie.ag. All right, very simple. MyBookie, 2 O's, KIE.
My T-book.
Oh man, he don't know how to spell over there, y'all.
Bro,
your girl don't let you smoke in the office? That's what it is. Your brain's discombobulated.
Nah, I don't gotta ask my girl to smoke.
You gotta
anyway.
ask, man. You and Caesar, man. All
Nah.
hell Caesar. We
Nah,
on you, C's.
I gotta get a fan if I got a fan in here.
C's gonna get ridden, no homo, till the sun go down every day until he throw down on Boat Awards. All right, my delivery is out and it arrives
Nice.
at 5 o'clock. Because I had to buy this again. I'm charging Alexander Lioness. Let me show y'all what I had to buy again because of Lioness. Actually, we're done with mybookie.ag. Don't forget to use my code BETTBV. That's BETTBV. BETTBV. Because there's some good bets to make. If you believe in Woodley, he's way more of a... I mean, look, yo, even if Paul gets a decision, it's plus 1,200. How do you not put a little bit of money on that in case Woodley could last because he's a real fighter? At least he's a fighter. Maybe he can last. So
That's
plus
right.
1,200 on a decision? Ay, chihuahua.
I like that.
That's
I like
huge.
that bet.
Yo, Woodley is such an underdog that if Woodley wins in the first round, it's a plus 1,400 if he knocks out Jake in the first one. That's how
Plus
big of a
14.
that's how big of a underdog he is.
So I'm looking at boxing odds. Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley. Okay, who the heck is... Oh, Ethan James versus Matar Sambu. Is this like
bets.
the...
Who will bleed first? Tyrone Woodley is minus money. They saying Jake won't bleed. They think Woodley gonna bleed first. Yo, there's so many prop bets. This is exciting. They need to do this for other boxing fights.
Yo, Charles Conwell, man. That kid could fight his ass off.
Will Jake Paul bleed first? Yes. Plus 100? No. Minus 140, though. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. Tonight we got Virgil Ortiz. Speaking of bleeding, we got the Mexican warrior, Virgil Ortiz Jr. on the show. And the presidente of the WBA, Gervonta Mendoza. Yes, sir. He's not Mexican. He's not Mexican. He's not Mexican. I think he's Venezuelan or Argentinian.
Oh, that was for Virgil.
Call you Trippy Trip. We got Woodley versus Paul. Either boxer loses mouthpiece. Damn!
Bro, what the kind of props are...
Yo, we never get these type of props, man.
I got 12 props for this fight.
Bro, they said no one's going to drop the mouthpiece. Yes is plus 300. That's actually good. Somebody could drop their mouthpiece on a fucking straight, right? Come on. Either corner to throw the towel in, plus 1,000. So you don't think Woodley's corner would throw it in? Mama Woodley, no, not my baby. Yo, we got Woodley Paul. Will there be a point deduction? Yo, Paul is an amateur.
Point deduction?
Anyone thinking Jake beats Woodley is dumb. Wait a minute, King. Well, then you better bet, because Woodley's a stupid underdog. Like, he's more than an underdog. He's like beneath the underdog. He's the dogs of all the underdogs.
Wow, look at the either corner throwing the towel.
I told you that. 1,000 plus 1,000. He said Woodley versus Paul. Will there be a point deduction? We read that. Woodley versus Paul. Woodley Paul touch gloves. What?
That's in the beginning. Are they going to touch gloves?
Oh my God. People betting yes, people betting no on would they touch gloves.
Bro, and it's 700 negative.
Yeah,
yes.
so everybody thinks they will touch gloves at least. Show sportsmanship.
That is crazy.
Crazy.
That is so...
Listen, boxing needs to do that. That's making it fun. That's making it fun. Giving you all these odds, all these prop bets. I like these. Yo, King, I don't know who. I like these group bets for Jake. This is interesting, man. I rarely like this. What? Rounds 3 through 4? Man, that's a bet. That's a bet for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Little hundo on that. Look, you make 350 plus your 100 back. Can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? And if you cheap like me, you could do 5. 5 gets you 1750. Then you could do rounds 1 and 2, separate bets. Do 5 on each. Bang bang. Call that hedge the bet.
Round betting.
Call that I got all first 4 rounds when Jake is hottest. Huh? Listen, all I'm saying is this. If you're going to make a bet, don't forget to use my code BETTBV on mybookie.ag, where they got the best odds. I mean, really, unless you're like in the UK. I think sometimes the UK's got a little bit of better odds. Maybe not. But this is the code right here on the screen. See it? Going to make a bet?
BETTBV.
BETTBV. Right there. BETTBV. TBV.
Plus 1,800 for Tyron Woodley by decision
best
or
dad
technical.
ever. Let me tell you, if you're gonna make a bet on 500, make a new account. If you already are using my, make sure I get some credit for that. All right? Because it ain't gonna cost you nothing. I mean, it ain't gonna cost you nothing except you gonna hook me up. You know what I'm saying? Hook it up.
Yeah, when will the fight end? Round 8, people think that it's plus 1,800 means that it's gonna. They believe it's gonna go the 8 rounds, right?
Plus 1,800, no, that's that. They want you to bet on that because that's the least probable thing to happen.
So they don't think this thing is going the distance.
No, of course not. Jake is about to body him inside of 3 is what the bookie's saying. They're saying over under the over, right? Let me go back to this page. Fucking hell. The over, the over is plus 100. So they want you to bet on the over because they know it ain't going past 3.5. The under is minus 120. So they like, that's what's happening. He getting knocked out. Somebody going to sleep. Bro. Somebody going to sleep inside of 3. This word for pay-per-view, man. The dude's just tripping. The undercard is banging, and the betting odds indicate that this could be a quick fight. Now, again, this is Jake's real test. Putting a little bit of money on the decision at a plus 1,200. That's fucking. But that also tells you a story. It tells you like, yo, we giving you plus 1,200 on the decision because it ain't happening. Because he getting a knockout. Somebody going to sleep. But again, we thought Pacquiao was going to win and Ugas won.
Just like the king is
what I mean.
The king is what I mean.
Salute, TBV community. Was good, fellas, man. Listen, I'm jumping in right quick. I'll be back tonight. Yo, I'm electrified, man, because first of all, let me say this about the pause. I insist on being known as an objective voice in this community. I'm respecting the Paul guys. When they hooked up with the Serranos, you know what I'm saying? When they hooked up with the Serrano camp, maybe somebody mentioned it before. I didn't understand. And it's not, to me, you're not going to go around Amanda Serrano and all the accolades and the way her and Cindy get down and they pops. You're not going around the Serranos to play around. So the fact that they've been accepted and embraced, man, to me, stop saying he's not taking boxing seriously. Like, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So he's taking boxing serious. Now, what you think of him personally, that's another story. When it comes to boxing, he's pretty serious. So serious that, and y'all going to like this one. If I'm right, I want y'all to do something special for me. I don't know what it is, man, but I got Jake Paul by a split decision. And I'll tell you why. These are 2 tough guys, right? Big guy in Paul and a tough guy in Woodley. Woodley is not, he ain't got a problem with getting knocked down and getting back up. From where he comes from, he's used to being held down till he can't get back up. He's going to get up from a hard punch. So, yeah, if there's a prop bet in there to bet on a knockdown, bet on that, but bet on a split decision because there are going to be some people that are going to be so surprised that the fight went the distance. Bet on that. And that Woodley didn't get knocked out, that they're going to be like, yo, this was a great fight. This goes beyond the whole YouTube fighters thing. This is more than crossover. Trust me, it's going to be a lot of fanfare. I feel so strongly about that, I had to come and tell my peoples, man. To the top of the mountain, I'm screaming. Speak it, receive it, believe it.
Well, all right. King, I mean, in Essex, joining
All I
us.
got to say, King, is
take it to church.
I want to send you a media workout that I think it was uploaded in the last 15 hours.
Let me see what's on the Instagram because that's easier to share and sometimes less copyright issues.
Okay.
What the hell?
Well, what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing Tyron Woodley in the ring. In a media press.
So what is exactly Jake doing? Is this some sort of, is he preparing for figure skating?
I don't know, but he was looking too fluid in this shadow boxing.
Does this show that maybe he's very core strength? What is this? Only people with core strength can do this pose?
Let me see. And which post? I mean, is it coming up on a computer?
It'll come up on a computer, or you can go to Showtime Boxing's Instagram and follow along with me. But it's on the computer. You should be seeing it now.
Okay. Yeah.
Looks like we got the IBF
Oh
president.
my God! Yeah,
Darryl
this is that thing he does with his. It's almost like it reminds me of Conor McGregor when Conor McGregor had this motion.
Why do I feel like you should be listening to the song that Jack was listening to when he was in front of the Titanic?
Bro, nah, this is more like fucking Hungry Island. Hungry Island. Dirty Dancing and shit. Oh shit, he went for the Dirty Dancing ultimate
But there's
pose.
this, I'm trying to think less jokey. Does this mean he's got like core strength or
Look, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's the world's greatest YouTuber.
I mean, okay, so I guess not. I guess not.
Yeah. Oh, nah, listen. The guy at the bottom that's holding him up, he has the soles of his feet on the hip area. So, yeah, I mean, you got to have core, obviously, to be able to just, put yourself up there. But the guy doing most of the work is the guy that's holding up Jake. This is balance. It is core.
See, this is what they saying here. Eat, sleep, train. And look at the way that he's training, man. I just don't think that you guys understand that this sport, anyone can do it. It's about putting your mind to it and setting that dedication. I mean, this guy relocated to Puerto Rico. This isn't his first camp. Again, how are you a millionaire already and you can't do anything else? Our biggest issues in life are our finances. Once finances are taken care of, it's very hard not to accomplish your goals, man. Come on. You guys are talking about a dude in his prime. He's 24 years old, physically in his prime. Financially is well off. They can just pick up and relocate to another country to hold camp. And he's not going to win. You guys are tripping. Meanwhile, there's fighters that we talk about every day that we wish they could get picked up so that they can have a real camp because we believe in their skills. I'm just saying, man, when you're putting in this type of work, you can't help but get better, man. You can't help but get better. And, I mean, we're acting as if these picks aren't strategic. You're fighting a 39-year-old, very, 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 very short dude. He's very, 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 very short. You know what I mean? And I think Jake has more to lose. He's got more to lose than Woodley.
I mean, yeah, he's the one on the roll right now who's actually taking the industry by storm. So I get it. He has lots of pressure.
And how big is his career if he gets this win? So they're saying Tommy Fury is next, right? Showtime's obviously paid for that. That's going to make him internationally known as a boxer. He'll get the UK public behind him. He had his own hit list too. Let's go to that hit list to see, because I know he had two very unrealistic fights, even though for him they were realistic. He was interviewed on that, Canelo and Gervonta Davis being on his list. He was interviewed on that, and he pretty much doesn't care. He feels like he's going to be able to beat them, and I think he can get those fights though. I don't know about Tank because I don't know what is he weighing in tomorrow? Does anyone even know the weight that he fights at? Is he a cruiserweight?
Who, Woodley?
Jake. What's it on sound? What is he on box record? Cruiserweight?
Well, yeah, Jake's on here as a cruiser. So Woodley's going to be cruiser as well. Well, this is a cruiserweight fight that they're fighting in.
So a Tank fight is unrealistic. He has Tank on the list, and he has him next to last. So obviously that's not possible, but he does have Canelo next.
That's the one that really kind of got me because of the whole little thing he did in the ring.
The issue with that is there is no issue. Canelo's a free agent. And I don't know if you've Googled, I don't know if my listeners know, but Alex, if you do another Google search, there should be something out there stating that this pay-per-view is already tracking in pre-sale buys higher than the Mayweather Logan Paul did. That's what's already out there.
Really?
That is what is already out there. So I don't know that Canelo says no to a guy that can generate so much money. You know, you just did a PBC pay-per-view with Caleb Plant, and then you come back and you do a Showtime pay-per-view with Jake Paul, money grab. I don't know. But moving on, he says Nate or Nick Diaz. I love those fights. I want the dude from Strikeforce because I know him, but I think Nate is the more popular one because he's the one that lost to Gregor, right?
Yeah, Nate. I'll tell you right now. I think that's where it stops.
You crazy? Those dudes are old.
Nah, I mean, look, he probably has a chance with Nate. But if he wants to fight Nick,
first of all, you're supposed to be this MMA dude. Okay, 1, they're older. 2, their bodies are way more destroyed. Inside their body is more. They drink and smoke. I mean, come on, I can go down. They know how to lose. Like, stop fucking playing Jake, man. And it's boxing, not slip and slide MMA.
All right, so you pointed out factual things. They smoke weed. They do go out and drink. Same thing as everybody else.
Not everybody else. Not everybody.
I'm pretty sure Jake goes out to drink when he's not fighting. What I'm saying, that what you really said though was the beating up of the bodies. Yeah, these guys have been in wars. Nate Diaz has been in way more wars than Nick. Nick has handled guys a little bit easier. Nick is the big brother, and Nick, if he fights Nick, I think that I mean he thinks he could beat Canelo. It's over. It's not happening. So it stops at Canelo really. But if he were to fight one of the MMA guys, because, you know, I don't know if Canelo would even entertain that shit if he's really interested in it, and we could get into that conversation. But before we do,
are those Diaz brothers signed? Because Canna, obviously, no, they're not with the UFC.
Nate's contract with UFC is still in play, but Nick hasn't fought for the UFC in God knows how long. He's been in the shadow.
So that's the one we go to first. We go to the one that hasn't made money in a while.
Nick. And that's the guy and out of the two brothers, Nick is the ninja, bro.
Is Nick the one from Strikeforce?
Nick is the one from.
He's the one that with the little pity pat shots. I remember him. We gonna sleep his ass.
Nate is the one that was seen sparring Andre Ward. Nick is the big brother.
But Nick is the one from Strikeforce who used to be doing more stand up in Strikeforce.
I believe so. If you're not mistaken. I think that Nick did fight for Strikeforce, yeah.
Whoever fought for Strikeforce, that's the one that thinks he can box. That's the one with the very lazy jab. That's the one that will get slept.
Whoa.
Sleep.
Look, I'm over here. I went against Jake Paul thinking that maybe Ben Askren had a chance. Boom, he gets knocked out. Now Tyrone Woodley, you know, does he have a chance?
I met Woodley, brother. He ain't got no shot.
So now he don't got a shot.
He too small, man. I met Jake. I met Logan. I met Woodley.
Nick ain't small, though. Nick is like,
Nick is tall, but he's thin. Yeah. He's thin.
Nah, bro, he's easy 200 pounds, champ.
Bro, not 200 like this guy. Look at this guy at 200. Look at him at 200.
Let me see.
And that must be 300 with her.
300.
Who he sparring right here? This dude looking like Woodley. Getting laced.
Getting laced in the face.
Who that in the back? Is that Charles Hatley in the back?
I don't know. I'm still got Paul with his marker in his mouth.
Out here doing sprints. Come on, man. Y'all better stop playing. My man coming. He coming for the come. Let's go. And he iced out. He can't take a loss, man. Can't take a loss, bro. We in a private jet, man. Yo, it's up from here. What in the world?
Yeah, I don't know who he just tried to
look at that
jab.
body shot. Oh! Oh, no. Look at how he, watch this. Watch how he lines this up. Size him up. Bam! Left hook. Yes. He's learning how to fight, fellas.
I got him running right now.
No, wait till you get to this. If you don't see this, if you don't see the skill in this, you don't know how to fight. Sign up the Border Wars so I can sleep you. Be my cherry. Look how he lined them up. Hold him. That left hook gonna sleep, Woodley.
Oh, you talking about that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I seen that a couple of times already. Where he does a little shuffle up the middle, body shot, measure, right hand.
That left hook sweet off that measure, man. That shit, man, come on, man. He a pro boxer. You don't like that?
No, I like it.
I'm not big on the little shoe shine uppercuts. You know they ain't doing nothing. That's for Instagram. But that line him up left hook, sweet.
No, physically looking good. He's throwing shots, in different levels, man. I started out in the very, very beginning thinking that this was all going to be a big joke, but the kid's training hard, man. And like you pointed out, Ness, if you got the resources,
bruh.
you're
Exactly. Look how easy I get Doomy to argue with my side. Doomy, what about you? If 5 years ago you would have had $1 million,
I'd be a champ.
Bro. Come on.
I'd be a motherfucking champ.
Every fighter with a fighter's heart is gonna say the same thing because finances are the biggest issue in one's life, man.
That's right, and that's how you nurture a fighter. That's why some of these fighters, the team around them doesn't want them to worry about anything else but fighting. Because if a fighter's concentrated on fighting, he's gonna fight good.
We gonna be over there. Holy fuck! No, it's Sunday. I'm gonna have to buy it on the app because I'm gonna be on the planes and shit. Oh,
damn, we're still gonna be on the
this
plane?
happens at 8 p.m.
Yeah, we'll be
down.
down.
Let me see what time I get back. I'm
I think
watching this.
We could do this live, champ.
I'm doing this live, the whole card, because I like this Joe Cusimano fight with Dubois. I know Dubois sleeps him. Yeah, I land at 12. I'll get hit like 1. Yeah, I'm definitely we're doing a live fight chat for this. I'm buying this
Let's
fight.
go, champ.
I gotta watch this Montana Love fight. I'm buying this fight. This is better. This is a better buy than that Andy Ruiz Areola, and I bought that. You know what? I'm gonna get laughed at. I never watched the Tommy Fury fight. I don't think this is gonna be my first Tommy Fury fight. I never watched him fight. He always been. Even this guy's a can.
Yeah, but he's been fighting.
And I don't call dudes cans, but this dude, who is this dude he's fighting? Come on, man.
Bro, I have no clue.
Jake out here going through the fire in 3 fights. He got bigger names than Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury only a name because of his last name, man.
That's gonna be the matchup that catapults Jake Paul into main hardcore, minds. You know what I'm saying? That's when people are gonna be like, damn, he just beat Tommy Fury. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's about Tank. I get y'all. Tank did $4.5 million in the gate versus Barrios. He's a proven star, yeah. But it's also Jake Paul's fight week, and he's a proven star. His 1.5 million pay-per-views that people tried to say weren't real were real enough to get him a 3-fight deal on Showtime. And now his fight on Showtime is also pay-per-view. So you do your own math and draw your own conclusion. If you're that stupid, then you'll believe those pay-per-view numbers were not real.
Oh! Tommy Fury, bro, looking at the resume, he's I can't even go. This is hilarious. Because in the beginning, I'm like, yo, Tommy Fury is going to kill this guy. When the first, talks and back and forth banter was going on, I'm like, damn, Tommy's going to be the one to put this guy in his place. But now looking at it in retrospect and seeing Jake Paul and the training and the commitment he's putting in and all that stuff is like.
I mean, he's tested himself. Tommy Fury's been a pro how long, and he ain't tested himself. He don't got nobody like the name Woodley. Nobody.
Like bro, I'm looking at the resume, man. This piece of paper looking light.
Bro, you got Ben Askren in your 3rd fight. Now you got Woodley in your 4th fight. And Tommy has who exactly on his resume? Because I'm going to have to Google this guy. He is who he is because of Love Island. And I never in my life watched Love Island. I'm just told by UK people that Love Island is somehow a big show. You know what I'm saying? But that's why he's popular, because of Love Island and the Fury last name. And he's not a bad-looking kid. He out of all the Furies, he looks the best. He's got the blue eyes. He's got the real physique. He don't look like a traveler. He look like he traveling to the gym.
Call him Superman and shit.
But look at this resume. Atrocious.
Bro, who the hell is
let me look at this.
Gennady Grajevsky?
No, and he's got 10 wins, 102 losses. 102 losses.
God.
I said he lost 102 times. And
Javencis Andreevs.
Then his next fight is Callum, not to be confused with Smith, just idle. I did.
And you take a look at the man,
and
he's 0-30.
He's never won. Now you tell me, do the Furies really believe in Tommy if his last fight or his next fight, the one that we're talking about, his debut in America is a 0-1-0 fighter? How'd the commission approve this? Cleveland are sleazeballs. They're sleazeballs. This man is sparring with Tyson Fury. He's sparring with Tyson Fury. He's got one of the big 5 promoters, and the Cleveland Commission approved an 0-1 fighter. This dude, look, how many dudes with no wins has he fought? 1, 2, 3. He's going for his 4th dude that never had a win on his resume.
That is terrible.
Listen to me. They're selling him out. He is cashing out with Jake Paul.
It's horrible.
He's cashing out with Jake Paul.
Yo, Jordan Grant, which is the last guy he fought with him, he went points with him. The guy was 2-0, the only winning guy.
And he won the decision. The first dude that got to win. You're cashing out with Jake Paul. Frank Warren knows it. His daddy knows it. His brother knows it. And that's why they let him sign. That's why he's on this pay-per-view undercard. And that's why this pay-per-view undercard is an 0-1 guy. Jake Paul's resume right now, even if he loses to Woodley, his resume is still better than Tommy Fury's.
Yo, I can't believe I'm even thinking about agreeing right now, bro.
I mean, are you watching the screen? You see this shit?
No, I'm watching everything.
My man fought Scott Williams, who was 0-9. Not only did he never have wins, but he lost 9 times. And the other guy that didn't have wins, he also lost 11 times. You telling me you can't find me a debuter? You got to find me somebody that tried to win 11 times, and they still ain't get a win. Nah, get the fuck out of here.
Like I've described him many times, he's a big old dosser.
Exactly. Him getting in there with Jake, it don't show no balls at all. All it shows is they cashing him out.
Bro, and the dude, I guess that's 2-0. I probably might have stunned him. I gotta go back and see this fight. Yo, man. Maybe he's just.
But for Jake, this is perfect. Because you get that last name, you make more of a name, you entice Canelo, and then you cash out with Canelo. Because you ain't gonna beat Canelo. But you could cash out. Or you could go 12 with Canelo like Canelo went with Mayweather. You know what I mean? You could get outclassed by Canelo, but not beat up. Last 12 and come back and get greater than that. Like, him and Canelo's going to be a huge fight. I don't think that Canelo ever does it. Canelo already said, like, he don't fuck with YouTubers. He a little punk. He corny for that. You got to do what helps the sport. You know what I'm saying?
He said, I'll handle y'all YouTubers when I'm on my way out.
If fighting Canelo is going to bring more eyes to the sport, do that, because this kid's bringing his own people. Like, that ain't us buying his pay-per-view. I'm buying this. This is the first one. I didn't buy that Asker and shit. I didn't go to Triller. I watched that shit on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying this because of the boxing undercard. They getting my money because of the boxing undercard. I get Amanda Serrano in a unification. I get my Montana Love versus Ivan Branchek. Montana Love is being tested.
Sure.
And then I get Tommy Fury versus a complete no one. And then I also get Daniel Dubois versus Joe Cusimano, where I know Cusimano. I'm not saying Cusimano's going to win. I'm not even telling y'all Cusimano's going to give him a good fight. I know Cusimano. That's how I am. I want to support. I know Cusimano. Everybody ain't going to be a world champion, and I understand that. But I know Cusimano, so I want to see how he does with Dubois. Nothing wrong with that. I'm paying for this. I did not pay for that Triller shit. I caught that one on IG.
Yo, I'm seeing the highlights, and it's basically just Tommy Fury punching on a bag. That's all this is. All these guys were punching bags, man.
Yo, Rob hates when you talk about the UK. He's literally trying to say how was Nate Robinson improved. Well,
Nate Robinson look like he fights better than
Nate Robinson is at least an
just
athlete.
a punching bag.
Nate Robinson is at least an athlete in some other sport. Like, they put in Tommy Fury in with these dudes that never won. Like, come on, bro. Like, my man's fought a dude that was 0-26 with 2 draws. You had 28 fights. You couldn't win 1.
That 0-100, that shit is serious.
No, it ain't 0-100. It's 10. He got 10 wins out of 100 and 102 losses with 3 draws.
Yo, Tommy has basically had punching bags
after punching bag. Listen,
and then hold on.
Built
what
up.
gets to me, and everybody's different, right? Look, I'm not knocking you, right? You just want to fight. You're happy. You're beating
It's
on
called
your chest.
money. It's called money. Listen to me. Fights cost $3,000 each. He's got what, 6-0? You know, 3 times 6. They spent that money on him. What's that? 18 grand maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Now they cashing him out. They about to make 100 times their investment. He easily gets $1 million. I guarantee he gets easily $1 million to fight Jake Paul. Easily. That Fury name, they need that resume to keep further building Jake. Jake is bringing conversions. Jake is going to add I'm shocked they're going pay-per-view. I thought they was going to try and add subscriptions to Showtime. They going straight to pay-per-view with Jake. They want the money.
He knocked out the Baltic what? The Baltic bomber.
Who's that?
The guy he fought and knocked down the Baltic bombers. I think
his pro debut was the toughest fight he had. That was like that's probably where they was like, yo, it's sink or swim, kid. Either you can fight or you can't. Cause to be his pro debut and get in there with a dude with almost 200 fights. I mean, I got to see what the dude looks like physically. Like, is he worn down? Does he look like he's 102 years old? That's because he got 102 losses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is he 102 years old? But that's still scary, you know? If you never fought. And look, this guy don't look that bad. I mean, he don't look like he's 102 years old. You know what I mean? He got experience.
Went the distance.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen to this statistic. My man got 113 losses. 18 of those are by knockout, so he's durable. I said 113 losses, 18 are by knockout. But somehow in Latvia, he's still ranked number 6. I said with 113 losses, he's still number 6 in the world. You know they can't fight in that country.
Damn.
They cannot fight in the entire country. They can't fight. If you're number 6 in the world, you're number 6 in your country, got 130. I'll beat everybody in your country's ass on the same day. Me. I mean, think about it, yo. You got 113 losses and you number 6.
Streaming the best in live sports.
Oh shit! Fucking
from the
box
Ryder
rap
Cup to exclusive.
Yo, if you got 113 losses, bruh, come on. Your number 1 got what? 50 losses?
Yeah, nah, it's a crazy number. Yo, this
Box
last guy,
fun.
Jordan Grant, I'm sorry, that fought Tommy, caught Tommy with some right hands already in the.
That's why they cashing him out, bro. That's why his next fight is an 0-1 fighter. I told you I never watched my man fight. We about to see him on Saturday. Can he fight? Sunday.
Fun day. Yeah, I'm seeing the guy Grant pushing him back. See, this guy actually stepped up. This guy was there to fight. He brought the fight to Tommy. He got Tommy on the back.
He probably got robbed and shit. He 2-0. You know he wasn't trying to lose. He probably got robbed. I ain't watch it.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it right now. And
in the meantime, let me get to some of these callers. Looks like we got N.O. in New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella. And he comes from the Magnolia.
Oh, all right. You busy? My Gene Bear Boomerang.
Boomy.
Boomerang.
Yeah, what up, man?
What up?
Champ.
I might lose you. I'm in the Pineys today. But Tank Davis, I think he should go with Mikey if he can get that Mikey fight. Mikey's getting a tune-up, and that should be a quick turnaround for him. Get somewhat back in shape, get from 180 down to 140. And then fight Tank. It's a pay-per-view fight. It will be interested in it, or the Birdo fight. I was feeling Ness when he talked about Birdo.
I like the Thurman fight more than Berto.
Oh yeah, no, of course. But you got to work your way up, man. You're trying to feed them to the wolves right off the bat. But yeah, man, that's all. And Jamal, man, I feel bad for him, man. He's always, wasn't he the one that got his chain stolen in New York City as well?
I thought that was Jamel. Jamel was the one that got his something robbed, I believe. Not Jamal. I'm not sure though. Unfortunate situation. Let me see here. Looks like we got J-Mac. Are you available?
Mac Attack.
J-Mac. That's a no-no.
Cricket time.
Yo. All right, there he goes. And then we're off.
So you hating?
I'm that guy. What you want to bet on? Bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money, right? Easy. Let's bet $1 million easy. And I for the bread. When I him, y'all gonna say he was too weak on my life.
Okay, bow down, bitches. I'm about to handle business. I'ma teach you all a lesson. This'll only take a minute. Got a part and all this passion in my blood. Niggas hating just because. Think about it. Everybody love Bud. J-Mac, where you at? All these niggas hating on me. Shit is whack. So official with it. Go and check the stats. Hey, I'm out here trying to get it. Ness, I only got a minute. Get ready for the Mac Attack.
Yo, Ness.
Yo, Mac.
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Oh
for
shit.
The weekend.
For the whole
yeah,
weekend?
Yeah, we just
Bro,
my daughter got this.
I leave though. Remember, I got that Myrtle Beach card. I leave tomorrow.
Nah, we got plans anyway. We out here for this camp. My daughter and her teammate got invited to one of these big time camps, and they're going to do a college visit or two or something like that. So we out here just taking care of that basketball business.
Nice.
Nah, man, I just been in and out. I didn't hear the topic of the show.
We're discussing the fact that the WBA has made all their interims now mandatories for the regular, which brings the possibility of Rolando Romero, to Gervonta's mandatory.
Well, that sounds like a legitimate thing. I think guys that put themselves in position should be able to fight the next guy. So that means that more of the guys, like you say, interim title, got to fight the champions now, right?
Yeah, interim's got to fight the regular belt champions. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you work your way to get the interim, you should see the champion. You should be able to run around here and call yourself the champ without fighting the real champ. So I think that it just makes the sport more legitimate, at least with that sanctioning, by then getting those fights made and what have you. But shit, that's all y'all was talking about.
That's it.
Yep.
All right, man. That's all I got. All
right. Yo, so this Tank shit is definitely real.
What, the MMA?
No.
Oh.
This company, the Shade Room, obviously. Let me see. Where is this at? It's in my DMs. What is that? This is
set on the DMs. Yo, real quick though, let me get to some of these super chatties. You got my man Texas Bulldog Boxing who says people like Punch will never convince me that 135 not ducking Dev. People like Punch.
Yeah, Punch drunk boxing because he's a Teofimo fan. So this is what Hawk was talking about that he said he's seen for himself, a truck driving around. I don't know how he's seen it in Atlanta when this says that the truck was in Las Vegas. It says a Chile, a company seemingly in Las Vegas, decided to make an ad alleging that Gervonta Davis owes them $40,000.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
So they driving around. I guess Tank refused to pay. I don't know why would you refuse to pay. These dudes, listen. This is crazy.
I mean, we saw this already though, man. I mean,
I didn't see this. You seen this?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this shit.
Yeah, they out there freaking with a screen on a truck driving around. Propaganda.
I had no clue. That's crazy.
And first of all, they spelled his name wrong. First of all, they got it Gervonta.
Yeah, but they got that face right.
They got the face.
They got that face right.
I'll be honest. I don't know if that's. I don't know what that does for the business. You know, you got a man who's obviously a millionaire, and you can go other ways into.
I mean, look, they must have felt this was a last resort. Come on, no one just does this to do this.
So then that means what? Opting out for a lawyer and sending somebody paperwork. You know, meet me in court for this money that you owe because you wrote a contract. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know, because there's. It's not like, look at, you said this the other day, and you were like, why are you even doing that? Where, you know, people are gonna, you know, big people, when I say big people, I mean stars and people of prominent positions in America, in industries of entertainment, corporate, whatever you want to say. But why would I want to do business with you when you got my face out there now? You know what I'm saying? How many people are going to deter?
Obviously, they don't want to do business either. If you go through these extremes, you ain't trying to do business.
Yeah, no, and it's true with Gervonta, but I'm saying though, it's like, if I'm somebody looking from the outside in, and I'm like, yo, if I had a situation where there was money situation, you're gonna put my face up there too?
Oh, like, you're saying that this looks bad for the business owner, like they would do it to anyone.
Yeah, like that's what you do. You know, you this is what you do. You want to embarrass people and put more attention to your business through my negative press. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't ride too well for anybody looking at it from the outside in. Because if you really want your money, you don't have to put my fucking face on a truck. You can use the proper channels. You know, this is a country with laws and lawyers, and there's other avenues to take. This was, I think, a little extreme. And I don't know if the company took this position because there was no contract involved, and maybe it was like a word of mouth, and they're kind of left out in the cold where they can't really follow the other channels and maybe send the invoice or whatever it is, a lawyer. But that's crazy. You know?
I agree with Mary Rose in the chat. Name calling should be timed out. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to call anyone a name because you're discussing boxing. So moderators, feel free to time anyone out that is name calling. Especially anyone that's name calling, like someone that's a caller. Like if the caller has courage enough to call in and voice their opinion, no one should have anything to say about that unless they want to call in and voice their own opinion. On our poll, we have Devin Haney with 52%. He is who the people would rather see Tank fight along the names of Devin Haney, Rolando Romero, Jorge Linares, Javier Fortuna. All names that, well, now that I think about it, Linares can't fight him. He's with Golden Boy, but, you know, we did put him in there because it's a common opponent with Haney. But Romero gets 39%. So the majority...
I love these polls, Ness. I really do.
Yeah, I'm glad they allowed us to do these things. But the majority are Devin and Rolando, which is good.
Isn't that telling, though? Because I know the other two we threw in there just to, you know, have those options present. But Devin Haney and the Rolando Romero numbers, they tell a tale, right? 52% to 39% for Romero. So the people know what they want. Obviously, everybody wants to see Devin Haney, right?
Yeah.
How fast? I mean, how viable is that to happen next? I don't know, but Rolando Romero's right there. So it's like, if we don't get Devin, we want Rolando. So if Devin, for some reason, can't lock that down, we're back at it again, all on the PBC side. Make the fight happen. Are they going to cash out Romero? Are they saying, hey,
I mean, it's not a cash out for Romero. It's not a cash out. Your first loss is to Tank, who's a multi-division champion. It's not a cash out, you know. It's you trying to be great, and people will brush it off as you still young. I mean, look, I hear he comes from a different background. Like, You know what I mean? He started boxing late, so like he's an overachiever already. But let me get to Huntsville, Alabama. James, what up?
Yo, what's up, Ness? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yo, I hear y'all talking about Tommy Fury, man. I had to go on YouTube and look at some of Tommy Fury fights, man, or the two that they got. He trash, man. Jake gonna sleep him, man. Jake gonna sleep him. So the Fury family. Yeah.
And you just seen these fights right now, and you can make that assessment, right?
I'm watching them right now. I'm watching it right now as we speak, man. He fighting this guy that's like with a carrot top head or something that's giving him good work, man.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you, man. I'm in agreement with you.
But other than that, man, yo, I'm looking forward to the Rolly and Tank fight, man. I mean, I'm glad that WBA is actually doing something right. So, I mean, you know, let's get rid of some of those belts and let's fight. Let the people just go ahead and stop portraying like they're a champ and just fight. Man, but back to Jake though, man. He's a hell of a star, man. I'm looking forward to the fight this weekend. I'm also looking forward to the BPE event this weekend as well. But yeah, man, Jake's doing big ass numbers, man, and we'll really see what Tommy Fury's about. And I don't think he really about shit, man. You know what? I'm gonna put money. I'm gonna look up to see if there's any prop bets to see if he's gonna get a draw or something this weekend or a loss. I think that's what he's gonna get for his American debut. I don't see it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, James, and thank you for reminding me. I should have been screen sharing this poster. We are going to be at Myrtle Beach, Mayhem in Myrtle Beach. Alonzo Big Zoe Butler, heavyweight, back in action. Aida Biggs, also in action. And TBV, continuing to grow in the commentating department. I've been having so many conversations, you know, that last truck show was a super duper blessing. Nothing really come from it, but a lot of conversations, which is something's better than nothing, you know?
Stupendous.
You know, we're working. We got this other gig on Saturday, and we'll be doing the live fight chat on Sunday. Doomy says he's going to watch it with me. We'll see.
I will.
We'll see. Would be a perfect time to do something that he needs to do in front of a large audience, which would be that day, more than likely. A huge audience. If he brings in the numbers anyway like his brother, Logan was like numbers galore. Logan was like just showering you with views. Like, here. It's crazy.
Take that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad networks started to embrace this. I remember having that conversation with Eddie, and it's like, these dudes are so strong. Like, I mean, 10% of their following is a great boxing pay-per-view number. So, like, how would you not? But they are. And we will see what happens Sunday. Looks like we got to all our callers. Stainless, Boomerang, you avail? Actually, you said give it to somebody, right? Who'd you say give it to?
Mac Attack.
Yeah, right. So we're going to give it to J-Mac after we go to Seattle, Washington.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingWords.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife. Cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, what it do? It's a beautiful day in the PBC neighborhood. We got the money, so you know it's good. We're not pulling triggers, we're just counting figures. Shout out to Tank Davis. You know, he got so many options. I'd rather see Robert Easter because I'm tired of Robert Easter being around the division of that weight and not really getting any fights that I want to see. So why not just smear him off? I think Tank is more friends with Adrian Broner than he is with Robert Bones Easter. And also Brandon Lee. Perfect fight. You know? I mean, yeah, he's a dangerous, but just imagine if Tank's power was stronger than Brandon Lee and he outdid somebody as a prospect. You know, we always talk about Deontay Wilder didn't do something, you know, in his beginning years. But what if we just dismantle Brandon Lee?
I mean,
That'd be a good
Brandon
fight.
ain't even known, man.
Okay, I mean, I still think he's a good fighter, though.
He is, but he ain't developed yet.
He's never made it past the 4th or the 5th round.
He ain't never developed yet.
Right. But Robert Easter's a better fight. It's a big fight. Cash.
A big fight, but
We got guns that be shooting checks, so we definitely gonna get that fight happening. Or Keith Thurman, get your ponytail homeboy on the contract. That's my call.
All right. We got James Benitez with a super chat. This says,
Doomy, Woodley might get slept. Seen that stiff boxing movement. So this is what an elite MMA striker looks like? Yeah, okay. Jake for the KO.
Yo, for real, yo, make that bet on Bet and use the code BETTBV on mybookie.ag. Jake is plus money on group rounds for knockout. We got 2 super chats from Kenston.
Let's say Marius Brady's versus Ness for Border Wars next.
No
Damn,
way, not
boy.
Bradis, not Bradis. Bradis is like the real deal, especially at the cruiserweight division.
Ken Stone out here trying to put us
Trying to get me murdered.
big money fights.
He's trying to get me murdered.
Ken also said Ivan 2-1 fave, the beast from the east, baby.
Ivan.
Damn, he's the favorite?
I mean, I'm sure, bro. That's what I'm telling you. I keep saying who's going to get pushed. I'm telling you Montana about to get pushed. He the one on that back foot pretty boy shit. Ivan is
Montana
Ivan
got
is
that
baby,
soul, man.
baby
He got the
fucking
moves.
Gennady. He literally looks like Gennady. I don't understand how they never marketed him like the baby Gennady. He should have been on Gennady undercards. He should have signed a K2. You know, he had a tough route too to the top, but at least he became world champion, man.
Yo, if Montana been keeping in shape and he's been steady, man, in his craft, I've seen his skill, man. His skills, he is the better boxer in my opinion. You know, the Eastern European style, forward pressure, high volume and stuff like that. I think this is an opportunity for Montana to really show out against a really good opponent. Davidian on the super chat says Nick Diaz is coming back soon. The Diaz brothers can fight. Be careful, but Jake isn't nothing to play with either. Yo, it's crazy. 100 emoji. It's crazy, yo. Jake's really turning things around in the minds of the people, bro.
Bro, is that if you know boxing, you can.
It's like I'm
it.
seeing it happen, you know.
I think you know. All credit to BJ Flores, but that wasn't the best trainer to get with. You know what I'm saying? Like, all credit to whatever he's been able to do, whatever synergy they've been able to create. I'm just saying, with the money he got and the money he's gained to make, any top 5 trainer would have took him. Any top 5 trainer, because you don't pay a trainer up front. You pay him based off your purse. This guy is bringing money through your door and attention through your door. Like, he could have trained with someone a little bit better, that knows a little bit more. But the thing is this. Again, BJ, I know a hater's going to send you this. I'm not hating on you because I'm telling you that Derrick James never was a world champ. Freddie Roach was never a world champ. Robert Garcia was a world champ, and he's still a great trainer. But it doesn't mean that because you're a great fighter, you're going to be an even greater trainer. You want to hope that means that. That's why I believe Floyd would be a great trainer. But Doomy, you was never a world champion, and you're a great trainer.
Thank you, sir. And then jumping in with you on this one is, you could look at the landscape of top tier trainers. You got Reynoso. You got so many, right? So many. But sometimes it's the chemistry, man. I think that BJ Flores and Jake Paul have this chemistry. I get to look at BJ Flores and the way he looks at him when he's training him. BJ Flores really cares about Jake Paul. He really cares that he makes this statement each time he fights. So the chemistry's there, and you can tell. I mean, these guys are flying to Puerto Rico, and BJ Flores, he has his connections, and he's been in the fight game. And like you mentioned, not every fighter becomes a good trainer. It doesn't transition like that always. So from my standpoint and seeing what little videos that you can see and what work he gives Jake, I think that he's doing a great job with him. You know, sometimes and Shakur Stevenson even said this, you know, there's so many trainers out there that are better than these top trainers. And I know that's a lofty statement to make, but there's so many trainers in our boxing communities at the blue chip level, if you want to say, that are great coaches, man, but they don't got the shine, you know. They haven't gotten to that stage yet, but they're great trainers. So that's the only little insight I can say. And, you know, not everybody is able to train with a Freddie Roach. You know, that chemistry is very important. And even a trainer will tell you as a fighter, you know, if things can work out or not, you know. So from what I've seen so far, they have good chemistry, and he's taken them to a 3-0. So shit is working. If shit's
and it's
not
a
broken,
it's a high level 3-0. It's a high level 3-0 because most fighters do 3-0s at a club show in front of
about it.
In front of 100 people. This is higher level. This is higher level.
Think about it.
You know,
you got BJ Flores, who's taking a guy who was a YouTuber, somebody that you did not expect to win at all, somebody that you wrote off at from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He's got him an undefeated record against guys that were competing at the highest levels. Yeah, it wasn't boxing, but they've competed at the highest levels.
Well, one guy was a YouTuber. Gib Anderson, or whatever his name is, he was a YouTuber. He beat him up on the undercard of the KSI Logan Paul first fight. Then his second fight was someone else.
Started off as a YouTuber.
I think his second fight was Digi, like KSI's brother, right? He beat up KSI's brother, maybe. And then third fight was Ben Askren, and now this fight.
Well, I thought he fought the dude Digi, right? Or the cousin or whatever of the guy Logan fought.
I mean, I'm going to just go to Jake Paul.
Logan fought KSI, and then I think Jake fought the little brother of KSI, if I'm not mistaken. And then he fought Askren, and then he fought
6'1" he is on Wikipedia.
Jake Paul?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, he's big, man. He got big legs too. Like
so he fought Gib. Oh, his second fight was Robinson. He never fought KSI's little brother.
Okay.
So he fought Ellison Gib, Ali, and then he went straight into a basketball player, Nate Robinson, then Ben Asskisser, and now Woodley. But technically, on paper, they're all pro debuters.
You see that? You beating debuters.
They're all pro debuters in boxing. But again, it's like I tell you, Shamar Canal is signed to Devin Haney Promotions. His first fight was in front of 350 people at Atlanta Buckhead Fight Club. He fought a debuter. He was a debuter. This kid did $1.5 million on a YouTube pay-per-view plus all the millions of playbacks that video has. I mean, you know, those videos have way over 20 million views each. You know. Then he fought Nate Robinson on Triller. Again, you fighting in a club show with 300 people, your anxiety is nowhere near as big as or great as Jake's. Jake's coming out to 1.5 million watching him on pay-per-view on Triller, and then the live audience. It's a lot of pressure. It's different level. This is totally different.
It gives you an insight too on his mental.
His debuts are better. And if we've learned anything over the 10 years doing this show, listening to Marcus call in from Ohio, is that Ohio runs boxing, and Jake is from Calabasas, but he's from Cleveland, Ohio.
You heard about the rumor? I don't know how true it is that Jake Paul was willing to take less money so that the fighters on the card get paid more.
Yeah, I seen that. I think that what I read is that he did take less money so that Amanda Serrano and others could get more money.
Wow.
I mean, he's rich already. This is what I'm saying.
No, but the thing is that there's a lot of rich people out there that won't do that.
And I hear you, but that's what's dangerous, that he really just wants to be a world champion for fun. Because people think he can't do it. You didn't watch the interview. They did a beautiful interview with him on the Showtime Shoulder content. And it's become a thing to just be a world champ because you think he can't. And the truth is, he fucking could. He's already the A side. You think he can't get a vacant title shot? You guys are tripping. Bro.
I'd believe him.
I just love that someone came in and showed you how wide open boxing is. This is how wide open it is, that a kid from YouTube took over. He took over.
Real quick, there was a super chat that it got buried in the bottom here. Virtuoso, shout out to you, champ. Jamal Charlo is a bridger weight in that mugshot.
Yeah, no, I said that.
Said that one.
Yeah, and that's when I said that it's sad because now that's what he has, a mugshot. Now his name is mudded. But
Mug.
Let me go to Brandon, Cincinnati.
Champ.
I always lose your intro.
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jump duffel bag with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. Folks jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pigeon, let 9 go. We slap with the fake glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
Yes, dummy, what's good? How it sound?
What up?
That shit was fire.
Yeah, that shit crazy. How you gonna lose the best intro on TBV, man? It's fucked up. But hey, if Tank stay at 140, I told you guys who I want to see him fight, and you saw Al Bernstein reaction when I mentioned it. Put him in there with Sabril Matias, man. I don't give a damn who knows Sabril. Bottom line is Tank's supposed to be this killer, the baddest man on the planet. Sabril got blood on his gloves, man. He caught a body in the ring. So we gonna put the perceived killer against the real killer and let them two niggas slug it out. And I guarantee you we get fight of the year. So that's who I would pick. My first option, my boy, the Puerto Rican murderer, man. The killer, Sabril Matias. That'll be, and then, like I said, Al Bernstein was excited. Like, nobody ever mentioned that one before. That'll be a great fight. And that's what I want to see.
So you
but
think because Al says something, it make it right?
I mean, I respect Al Bernstein's opinion. I don't think it's gonna get made because of that. But you see how excited he knows his boxing. I mentioned it. And he like, damn, that's a great fight. That's all I'm saying. That's what I want to see. But it'll probably be the Rolly or Cruz Gonzalez, something like that, in-house or typical green print bullshit fight. But yeah, if he really about that life, man, put him in there with Matias, man. My man's got blood on his hands. Let's see if Tank a real killer. That's my call.
You're not man enough.
All righty then.
Yeah, see, but
my
that's the
Gene
thing,
Bad
right?
Boomerang.
Boomerang.
J-Mac, you get Stainless's Boomerang.
Yo, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Champ.
Yeah, I gotta address somebody.
Nah,
I don't know why.
He just gave you a boomerang because you're a fantastic caller.
Right, yeah. Thank you, and shout out to the guy who was just whining about how he lose his intro because he did lose to me. If he needed a reminder, I won last year. Nah, but man, like I really don't have much to say on it. I like what you said earlier. I'm looking forward to see what we gonna do with this Bud and Sean Porter purse bid, and just go forward. Let's get these fights made, man. Let's push for the fights being made. You said something yesterday was very very positive, and like the fights got to be fought in the ring. We can always talk about this guy go fight this guy go look this way against that guy, but the fight still got to be made. That's how we can solve all these disputes, and we can see who was right, who was wrong. That's my call.
All right. That is todo el mundo, which means we are out. Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Today is Thursday. We're back tonight. We got Gilberto Mendoza, the president of the WBA, as well as young Virgil Ortiz. Yes. that's who we're gonna have. The young,
the young killer, the young champ, the young knockout artist.
Call him Killer.
You know what I'm saying? Killer Cam. But real quick, you did have 3 more super chats.
Killer. Oh, we got 3 more? Good to him, dog. Who's up?
Candy Slim.
Oh, no, we got Will Lynch. Will Lynch was first, who said, oh, you're right. Candy Slim was first. My bad.
Well, take the Candy Slim. I'll go Lynchy.
Candy Slim said, Tank should go for Ugas, not a big puncher, and Ben Hurt. I guess he meant Ben Hurt. And I mean, Ugas,
not a big puncher.
Ugas ain't a big puncher,
man,
but he's long,
man.
You
see my man Manny eating porridge and shit?
He's long, though. He's long, bro. He's long.
Did you get a chance to see Manny eating porridge?
We seen it. Tell me, have you seen her?
Yo, man, the guy punches. Trust me. Will Lynch said, just sending support and love to the TBF
Familia.
Punching emoji, glove emoji. And my man Jesse, shout out to you, says, do me the champ of oxtails.
Word. Oxtails be rocking.
What?
I need
to taste some oxtails and said Pete.
Who was that?
Jesse.
Yo, did you check into your flight? No.
I got the email. Yeah.
You ain't check in, though.
I could check in after the show.
I already checked in before the show, and I got that A group.
A groupie. Yo, it's crazy because I think I probably learned this from you or just like thought it was a great idea. I remember one time we was waiting at the end and we were just like, yo, it's everybody's in there. And I was eating my bagel and drinking my coffee and I'm like, you know what? Ness got a point here. I don't need to be in the fucking plane yet. So I always go on the last one. Even if I'm like group number 2, I let everybody go in.
Yeah, but the issue with that is I like Southwest. This is an unfair free advertisement for them because it's so organic because I love Southwest.
You do.
So I'd rather get in there early because you get to pick your seat. So I get always that front seat and that overhead compartment. If you need it. I never need it. I never travel with a carry-on.
The overhead compartment is one of the reasons why you would go in first.
Yeah, I'd rather go in first so I could get out first. Because remember, if you go in last, you at the back of the plane.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm out first, homie.
You're right.
I'm out first always because of that. Like, I'm literally, I never sit past the first 4 seats. I'll be like, oh, nobody sitting there? I don't care if you there with your girl. I'm getting in between y'all. You know how they try to get slick and be like, sit apart from each other so you think they're not together? Okay, I'll get in the middle of y'all. Then y'all going to be asking me to move so you can get together, right?
They can't ask me to move.
No, my show. They're gonna like, oh, you know what? We together. You mind? You want the window seat? You want the aisle? And those are the ones you want anyway. I want the aisle so I'm out, or I want the window so I can sleep. So, I don't care what y'all talking about. I love Southwest. If anybody want a Southwest credit card, hit me up. Use my refer link. I love Southwest. Okay? And they do the best points. I don't care what nobody say. They giving out the best
I'm still rolling with Spirit because that's what I got. So until I
used to fuck with Spirit. I even got their credit card, and then I just stopped using them. But it's too much with Spirit, man. They want you to go to the little kiosk.
Yeah.
It ain't like that with us, man. Everything is with a kiosk too. Like if I feel like dealing with a service attendant with Southwest, I can for free. If you do that with Spirit, they charge you $10. They charge for everything. Everything is an add-on. You better go through that. Everything is an add-on. If you can't get yourself checked in and your bag checked on your kiosk, you paying a fee to talk to that attendant.
Wow. Yes. Look at this guy. I didn't know that.
United is one of the best. Like if you got their credit card, you and anyone you travel with gets a free bag. That's good. But when you go Southwest, you don't need that shit because 2 bags is free. Nobody doing that.
I can't believe they left Newark.
Nobody doing that. Yeah, they tripped out with that one. I was tight. I was big mad. They crazy.
God.
But anyway, we out of here. That was everything, you know, and we gave you the little flight
Airline.
recommendations. Yo, whoever flies Frontier, let me know. They always got the cheapest flights, and I'd be like, I'm afraid of those cheap numbers. Those numbers too low to get on them planes. Even though, remember
those
Dominique?
planes, you got to walk to the tarmac to get in them.
Remember Dominique? Dominique used to fly Frontier from Ohio. Ohio.
Yeah, hope she's doing okay.
She is. We talked the other day, man. She's doing good. She about to have a honeymoon and shit. She got married. So
well, shout out to her.
Small Waist Gang. She got her. She about to be a personal trainer. She got on her fit stuff.
Fitty, and
yo,
this
we
is
out, man. I gotta get a haircut, man. It's time to go to Myrtle Beach.
Me too, Champy. This is the Boxing Voice. If you just tuned in to the show and you like what you were listening to, please hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live every time, and hit that subscribe button. And if you're interested in the memberships, there is a link in the description that says join this channel. Click on that link and head on over to our 3 tiers. Pick what's best for you. Take advantage of the exclusive content and all the cool emojis that you saw on the chat. This is Nestor Gibbs. The skip, and I'm Alexander Linus. It's Alex _Doomsday _LAINEZ on IG, TikTok. I'm busting moves again, and Twitter, Alex Linus TBV. Bless you all. This is the Breakfast Club of Boxing.
You never stop busting moves on TikTok. You was stunting, man. All right, we out. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Peace in the Middle East.